This is Arkansas Game Day live at Randall Ford, 5500 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith.
Jefferson in the gun, gets the snap. Here they come. Slant over the middle, complete. Burks, touchdown, Arkansas!
Arkansas Game Day is brought to you by Bud Light, the world's favorite light beer.
Jefferson to Johnson, up the middle, touchdown, Arkansas!
Call or text the program at 877-377-6963.
I am Ty Richardson. This is Arkansas Game Day. A little unique today with the Arkansas basketball team tipping off at 2 o'clock. We'll have pregame coverage right here on ESPN Arkansas at hitthatline.com beginning at 1:30. The football game, the prime rib tonight, 6:30 in Baton Rouge, Death Valley, Louisiana, where Clay informed us earlier this week that you have only won in Death Valley 3 times. I would have thought it would have been a couple more, but Tommy, that's kind of what you're walking into tonight. It's the toughest venue in college football, yet you find yourself favored tonight.
Well, and it tells you the improvement of this team. It also tells you the trend and the direction LSU is going. Still amazing to me that we've seen 2 teams in the last decade in this league win a national championship, and just a couple of years later on the skids, firing the head coach that won the championship. And that's exactly much like Auburn close to a decade ago. We're sitting with Gene Chizik. We're seeing it unfold before our very eyes today down in Baton Rouge as Ed Orgeron is on his way out, as we know. And they parted ways middle of the year, made a deal before he could win some games and win the fans back over, like what happened with Les Miles. And the drama is high today because the question is, will LSU make a bowl game this year? Do they want to make a bowl game, Ty? They got 4 wins. Seemingly they got to beat the Razorbacks today in order to assure a spot in some kind of postseason play.
This game has had some impact in years past. I would say the most notable when Alabama was ineligible to play in the SEC championship. Arkansas and LSU met in Little Rock in 2002. The winner would advance to the SEC championship. We know Arkansas won. Miracle on Markham, Matt Jones to DeCorey Birmingham. Then he got spanked by David Pollock and Georgia. But this is a game that is significant. I would say more for Arkansas today because the Razorbacks have an opportunity to get to 7 wins in their rivals' place. And you haven't, as I mentioned earlier, had a lot of success, but yet you find yourself favored. And Tommy, I think a lot of Arkansas fans expect to go in there, not only win, but pull away a little more tonight.
So I guess being favored gives some level of expectation, but we saw Arkansas favored against Auburn, and the first time a Sam Pittman team have been favored in a conference game. And that didn't hold up to be a victory.
Point.
So just being favored does not mean Arkansas is going to win this game today. But it does give you an idea of the outside world's expectations on the outcome of the day. We always remind everyone that a line does not mean that's what Vegas is predicting. They're trying to get half the bets on either side of the line so they can just make some juice. But nonetheless, they believe Arkansas is in this game. The betting public believes Arkansas is going to be in this game at the end. To me, the question is, can you make the plays and then also not make the mistakes to get you to the finish line today, across the goal line as a winner? You need to win this one today, Ty, to kind of make up for that Auburn game we mentioned a minute ago. You lost that one at home. You need to steal one on the road today.
You talk about mistakes. Arkansas has not been a penalty-free football team this season, while LSU hasn't as well. They're still the number 1 team in college football in penalties yardage per game, which is really kind of telling. You would think that wouldn't be the case at a poor team that did. Now, Clay and Coach Ed Orgeron probably would attribute that to the lack of kind of off-the-wall stuff. They don't run motion, line a lot of pre-snap stuff. They're very basic, a lot of things. So maybe you can get them to try some new things today and make mistakes. Because really, Tommy, they don't have much of a running back, and no disrespect to Price, but they're rush, and it's not necessarily him. I mean, they got 3 offensive linemen out today. They've got I got to look at the exact numbers, between 12 and 15 starters. They have just been decimated each and every week by injuries, including some of their best players, their best running back, John Emery, their best player overall, Derek Stingley Jr., Eli Ricks, who's the best cover corner in the SEC last year, Andre Anthony, their best defensive end, and yet they have still managed this past week to get within 6 points in a Hail Mary of beating the Alabama Crimson Tide.
Yeah, and I think it surprised a lot of people the way they played against Alabama. It didn't really surprise me. That's why I picked them in my picks a week ago because LSU takes pride. Their players take pride in how they play against Alabama. That was their A effort. How many more can you give your A effort 2 weeks in a row? Can you really get emotionally peaked? Can you get focused back-to-back weeks for Bama and Arkansas? You know, that's the thing. LSU's kind of played up to better competition, and then you see them go to Kentucky. You see them have some other struggles along the way in this schedule where it leaves you scratching your head, and that's exactly why Ed Orgeron is out as the head coach. So I'm hoping today, and I feel like today you won't get LSU's A game. Maybe you get their B game, but their A game may be too much for Arkansas. You get their B game, and I think Arkansas can win this game today.
I think they emptied some of the tank against Alabama. Now the question is how much? How much? You've asked this question several times on the Morning Rush this week. As how much juice, how much energy is left in that football team that they want to get bowl eligible? Because you know there was a ton in Arkansas. Arkansas had not been to a bowl. I know they technically were invited this past year against TCU, but they didn't get 6 wins. They got 3. They had not really earned a bowl since 2016. There's a lot of motivated guys in that locker room that wanted to say and go out on a high note. Most particularly, I think the one that stands out is Grant Morgan. And now Arkansas sees not necessarily a light at the end of the tunnel, but they see a whole sun rising. They see a lot of opportunity still left. And if you look in that LSU locker room, I'd be curious to see what their players envision what the rest of the season holds.
And, you know, are they trying to put things on tape? You mentioned this for the next coaching staff. Are they trying to put things on tape for a coaching staff elsewhere for the transfer portal? Or they just throwing their hands up and say, we'll get through the season, get a clean slate with somebody new? I guess it depends on where you kind of think you're at. There's a lot of talent in that locker room. Don't mistake, and I don't think we have this week, the 4 wins. This is the team that doesn't have a lot of talent. They're loaded with talent. Depends on which team shows up today because this is a talented LSU team.
We brought up the betting line at this point where Arkansas is a favorite. 80s Rocker gets at us on YouTube. You're welcome to jump in here via YouTube, via Facebook, via Twitter, via Twitch, or text or call us 877-377-6963 as we are live from Randall Ford on Arkansas Game Day presented by Bud Light. He says Arkansas plays better as an underdog, and they always have. And he's right, Tommy. And that's I don't think the fact that they were a favorite against Auburn is the sole reason they lost that game. But I did say there's more pressure. That was the most pressure-packed game that Sam Pittman has had as the head football coach, and ultimately in the second half, they just didn't have it. I wonder, especially tonight, I saw them in person not fare well on the road in a tough environment, Athens, Georgia. How do they respond to that crowd tonight? Well, it might not be the same intensity we've seen in years past. Death Valley still stacks up with the best of them, even at 70, 80%.
I mean, maybe the team does or don't. I don't know how many open conversations they have about being the favorite. I think that's something fans like to talk about, but you got to feel like you're an underdog going in there if you're Arkansas, right? I mean, I know what the betting line says. I don't feel like Arkansas is the favorite tonight. I feel like you're going to have to play well, limit mistakes, have a few big plays, hope maybe LSU turns it over to win this football game. And you definitely, and we'll get to the line of scrimmage and what Arkansas is going to be able to do there. But to me, I mean, I know what Vegas says, but tied to me, it just doesn't feel like Arkansas is the favored team in this game tonight.
I think it's better to come in with an underdog mentality, regardless if you're favored or not, especially when you enter LSU. As Les Miles used to coin it, said, where dreams come to die in Death Valley. It's one thing to play LSU at 2:30. It's one thing to play at 11. Luckily, you don't have to play them at 8 o'clock or 7:30, whatever it was, and Auburn did a few weeks prior. But 6:30 at night, I mean, this – and I don't know a tougher – if y'all know a tougher venue in college football, let me know, because I don't think it gets much more difficult than this.
Well, but I don't think it's going to be at its best tonight. I mean,
Correct.
I agree with you. When Baton Rouge and Tiger Stadium is at its best, it's the toughest place to play. We kind of equated it to Bud Walton Arena. I think Bud Walton Arena is as tough as there is in college basketball when Arkansas is good and winning. But we know what Bud Walton is like when the basketball team has just kind of been middle of the pack mediocre. This is not a great LSU team. So I don't think you're going to get Tiger Stadium's best shot. You're right about it being the toughest venue when it's at its best. Baton Rouge is not going to be at its best tonight.
Take the crowd out early, get an early touchdown, get an early turnover, make those Cajuns go back to the tailgate. Now I'll give them this. They at least entered the stadium. Ole Miss fans don't even leave the Grove. They just stay out there. Vaught Hemingway is rarely sold out. LSU fans, while that crowd is as intimidating as it gets, if you get up on them early, then they'll leave in droves. As you said, they'll go out there, or maybe it was Clay that said it yesterday, they'll go out there and get more of their Crown Royal. So hopefully Arkansas, which this hasn't been a staple of Sam Pittman and his team thus far, hopefully they can start fast and kind of be an abnormal game tonight and get off to a quick start.
Well, and I don't think it'll be a full house. I mean, we're seeing secondary ticket markets flooded with tickets. There's tickets as cheap as, what did you say, $20? So
I bet, you know what, Tommy, I bet it's
less
gone
than
down.
that today.
Yeah.
And it probably has this morning. People want to, unload what they got so they don't have to put steak sauce on them. But it will not be a full house. So I'm not expecting. I mean, they got a large stadium, one of the bigger conference venues. I am not expecting every seat to be filled tonight, even at the beginning of this ball game.
So I had several Morning Rush listeners. Right now they're as low as $18. Tommy, this typically would be a game that's pretty packed out and had hard to get a decent price tickets. But I had several Morning Rush listeners text me. Not only do they feel confident about their trip down there getting a win, but they're solely going just because of how cheap it is. Because this is typically a trip that might be a little more on the high side with tickets being a little higher. But when the LSU fans, when they're not as cheap, it's kind of like you said, it would be hard to give those tickets away here in Arkansas 2 to 3 years ago. And LSU fans, while they're not at that severity, it's not as bad as it was under Chad Morris here. It's definitely dropped off to what they're typically accustomed to in Louisiana.
Yeah, if you live in South Arkansas, I mean, it's 8 or 9 hours from the middle of the state to get there, depending on, kind of where you're leaving out from. Hey, if you're listening from Hot Springs or Texarkana or, somewhere in the southern part of our state, you could go down and back to, in the same day if you wanted. But, this is a very doable trip with maybe just one night hotel stay. So like you said, to go to this game, probably more affordable than it's been in a while because, certainly LSU's championship year a couple years ago, tickets were hard to come by and very expensive. So, this is a place you want to go. Hey, maybe part of your family's out deer hunting today. The rest of the family might have made the schedule or made their schedule out to go to the game today.
I had a couple Morning Rush listeners text me throughout the week who are in the stands this morning, said they're going to bring their radios out or they're going to bring their cell phones out and be listening to us. So for all you out in the deer stands this morning, I hope you caught a big old buck in your sights and you knocked him dead, and hope everyone's being safe out there as well. 877-377-6963, the number that you're welcome to call or text in. This is Arkansas Game Day live from Randall Ford, 5500 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith.
You're listening to Arkansas Game Day live at Randall Ford, brought to you by Bud Light.
Randall Ford is the place to be at 5500 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith if you are looking for Mustangs. Sitting next to a Boss 302. This Mustang just looks fast sitting here, my friends. Come by and check it out. It is the UA Fort Smith Blue with the white speed stripes on it. A Boss 302. Hard to find, fun to drive. If you're looking for Explorers, if you're looking for GMC Sierras, if you're looking for, Jeeps, yeah, we have all of those. Raptors, several of those. Come by and see us. Looking for Dodge Rams, the 1500s with the Hemis, yeah, we have those too. Over 200 pre-owned vehicles to choose from can be found, my friend, at 5500 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. 113 plus years in business, family owned and operated. Fourth oldest Ford dealership right here in your own backyard. Come by and see us at Randall Ford, or as always, you can shop us online at randallford.com.
This is Arkansas Game Day.
Arkansas Fuel Injection in Fort Smith has been providing quality work for all new and rebuilt diesel pumps and injectors for over 25 years. They are a certified diesel shop with a team of quality technicians that ensure the highest quality workmanship and warranties all their work. They are open Monday through Friday 8 to 5 and has emergency service available 24 hours a day. For all your diesel pump, fuel injection, and parts needs, stop by Arkansas Fuel Injection, 6300 South 29th Street, Fort Smith. Call them today at 1-800-817-7709. Arkansas Arkansas Fuel Injection.
For more than 80 years, Forest Grin Inc. has been building the foundations of the River Valley and beyond. Forest Grin, a destination point for men and women with a drive toward excellence, is now hiring experienced dump truck drivers. CDL Class A or B license with medical card is required. Apply now from any mobile device at forestgrininc.com, a heritage company and a premier employer. Forest Grin offers top wages and benefits. Apply today at forestgrininc.com. Become part of the Forest Grin legacy. Apply now on any device at forestgrininc.com. Forest Grin Incorporated is an equal opportunity employer.
Make Awake Bait and Tackle on Highway 64 between Van Buren and Alma has everything a fisherman needs. Rods, reels, tackle, plastics, all kinds of great baits to catch a wall hanger. Rods starting at $69.95. The biggest selection of plastics in the River Valley. Reaction Innovation, Bobby Garland, Lake Forgoogan, and more. And Make Awake has Daiwa rods and reels, and they repair them too. Make Awake Bait and Tackle, 1 mile east of I-540 on Highway 64 between Van Buren and Alma. Make Awake Bait and Tackle.
Looking for a fence company that will provide the personal touch to your fence or gating project? Call Dusty's Fence Company at 479-629-4190. Dusty's Fence Company specializes in custom wood design, vinyl fencing, chain link and ornamental iron projects, and they can even stain your fence to complete your project. Family owned and in business for 20 years, you will deal with the same person from start to finish. That's Dusty's Fence Company, 479-629-4190.
At Alliance Motors, we pride ourselves on listening to the needs of our customers. Everything we do is designed to make your car buying experience as easy and enjoyable as possible. Visit us at our 2 locations in Greenwood, 900 East Center or 1305 West Center today. At Alliance Motors, customer satisfaction is our highest priority. Visit us today and see for yourself the difference, or visit us online at alliance-motors.com. Alliance Motors in Greenwood.
Crabtree RV Center, leading the River Valley in sales and service for over 70 years. Founded in 1950, Crabtree RV Center has grown into one of the largest family-owned and operated RV dealerships in Northwest Arkansas, located on 17 acres, including a 26,000 square foot indoor showroom. Crabtree RV Center has everything you need, all in one convenient location. Crabtree RV Center in Alma, Arkansas, making your family's dreams come true.
Late breaking news. Central Hydraulics has teamed up with Wacker Neuson to meet your ever-growing equipment needs. Wacker Neuson offers loaders, excavators, skid steers, telehandlers, and more. Central Hydraulics is also your Gates Hydraulic Hose Center. Stop by today at 6104 Highway 271 South in Fort Smith. Central Hydraulics, helping you move the world.
Don't brush off the dentist. They have fillings too. River Valley Smile Center can provide you and your family with comprehensive dental services in a friendly and welcoming setting. From cosmetic dentistry to orthodontics, implants to sedation, we have everything you need for bright and healthy teeth. To schedule an appointment, visit rivervalleysmiles.com or give us a call at 479-646-0706. That's 479-646-0706.
ESPN 95.3.
You're listening to Arkansas Game Day live at Randall Ford, brought to you by Bud Light.
It's a good snap. The kick is on the way. It's a line drive. He missed it. He missed it. Arkansas wins. He missed it to the left, and the Razorbacks have won it.
Call or text the program at 877-377-6963.
We're going to get into our Bud Light scoreboard coming up in about 10 or 15 minutes. Tommy, UConn has scored on Clemson and are up 7-0. UConn.
Oh.
Clemson is just falling apart this season, my man.
UConn, I mean, one of the worst. How do you describe? I mean, you hate to even say Power 5. How do you describe UConn? Because you used to remember when Arkansas was. You held your head because you were in that bottom 10 that they used to put out on ESPN.com.
Ryan McGee, yeah.
This is where UConn's program pretty well has lived for a little while. So
yeah.
This is now they hadn't lost the game yet, but just to even be down at this point, for the way Clemson's season has gone, this has got to be a moment where their fans are. And I guarantee, if we were listening to South Carolina sports talk radio, they're hot. They're after Dabble, kind of like after Alabama just has a close shave or a loss, like the loss to A&M this year. They're out. They're on Saban for stupid reasons. I guarantee you they're after Dabble Swinney out there, hot and heavy this year.
So we'll share more about that and some other scores coming up in about 10 or 15 minutes on your Bud Light scoreboard update. But first, I want to tell you about our friends as we are live from Randall Ford, 5500 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith, home of the #1 selling truck in the country, the Ford F-150, and they have them new in stock. Don't forget about the all-new Broncos, which are great tailgating vehicles and just great overall. This is the 4th oldest Ford dealership, not in the state, but in the country. They've been serving you since 1908, over 4 generations, and they're always up for best of the best because of the customer service, selection, and everything else they have. So come by and see us. We're at Randall Ford, 5500 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. Now, Tommy, have you started your gumbo yet? I don't know how long this process works. I've seen several Morning Rush listeners reach out or just tag me on Facebook. Hey, Ty, I started my gumbo pot, started my jambalaya today because you are playing the Cajuns down there in the bayou. What's the process look like for that?
Well, I'll when I get done here, I went this morning. I got some rotisserie chickens just because I don't have all day to smoke or to do my own chickens. So I the rotisserie chickens are fine.
You're not killing a chicken out back?
No, I'm not going to. I like to make things from scratch. So I've got that. I've already got my holy trinity, my celery, my onions, my bell peppers cut, ready to go. So when I get back to the hacienda from here, I'll begin the roux, and then I've got the broth, and I'm while Laura's making stock out of those chickens. She's deboning them. We'll take them, put them in a pot, little onions, some other spices, make the broth, and then we'll be off and running. So got my vegetables ready to go, got my chicken, got my shrimp, went and bought sausage this morning to put in it. So everything's ready. Just gotta get the work done, and then I guess watch and listen to basketball while I'm making gumbo to get ready for football.
What's better, jambalaya or gumbo? Because I like both.
Or option C, red beans and rice.
Red beans and rice is also a good one. Now,
I don't think you can go wrong with either of the three. Now, listen, I'm not I'm pretty good around the smoker making ribs and brisket or pulled pork, whatever you want there. I've got a lot of experience there. I've made one pot of gumbo in my life, and it was last weekend. So, it was good. I think I can do better. It's all about the roux, though. You got to get the roux just right. Get the right mix of flour, butter, get the impurities out. So, I'm going to try a couple new things on the roux today.
My best friend, his parents are both from Louisiana. One's from New Orleans, and I can't remember where the other one's from. But his mom, Tommy, makes jambalaya that is out of this world.
Love
and
jambalaya.
Her only fault is that she is a diehard LSU Tigers fan, and I look forward to when we go to their house. They live in Dallas now. Just to try to, it is fantastic. But man, I love some Cajun food. And when we went down, I still hadn't been down to Death Valley for a game yet, but I had the fortune of going down to Baton Rouge this past season, Alex Box, to watch that series, which Arkansas ended up taking. It was incredible. It was awesome. Just a great time down there, and just the smells down there, man. Listen, we can make fun of Cajuns up and down, side to side all day long, but I'll tell you one thing they got going for them, Tommy. They know what to put in a pot, and they know what to serve you, because that stuff down there is special.
Yep, and nothing like some good crawfish, jambalaya, little crawfish etouffee on top of your catfish, or maybe in some etouffee on top of a steak. I've seen that done. So yeah, it just depends on what you want to put in it. Down there, up here you won't find the alligator and a lot of the other deep south bayou ingredients that maybe you'll find down there. We're a little more mild: chicken, sausage, shrimp.
Yeah.
Down there you may find all kinds of critters that come out of the bayou inside your gumbo or your jambalaya.
Well, I told you when we went with my brother, who's a big oyster guy, every restaurant we stopped at, he'd order 36 oysters immediately, not for just himself, but off the bat. And you mentioned the alligator, all that crate, the boudin balls, all that stuff down there is great. Now,
makes me want to go over to eat my catfish, see our buddy Travis over there, because they got a lot of that stuff. So if you kind of got a hankering today, you just go over to eating my cabbage. That's one of the few places I know that's got all that stuff on the menu.
Yeah, and like you think about just kind of the reception. What Clay told us yesterday is they'll initially try and scare you a little bit, go tiger bait. And so if you're down there, if you listen to us, or you're driving down as we speak and you're listening to us across ESPN Arkansas, hitthatline.com, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, ESPN Radio, wherever. Just if they try and scare you a little bit, just kind of laugh it off, say ha, and then they'll invite you over for food and they'll fill your cup up is how Clay made it sound to us yesterday.
All right, we could break down the left tackles, the right tackles, the defensive ends, but we'll open up the phone lines for gumbo recipes right now. 877-377-6963. Hey, we're not beneath the good food recipe here on ESPN Arkansas.
No, we are not. But back to some football stuff, not just staying with food. And again, like Tommy said, you're more than welcome to chime in with your favorite food recipe for gumbo, jambalaya, or just if you want to talk about food, we're always willing to do that. But this game today, this is significant, right? You're favored for the first time in 20 years since you've been down to Death Valley. People expect you to win. You could make it 4 on the list, and just getting to 7 wins, which you haven't had 7 wins since 2016. You ended that season 7-6. You were 7-5 heading into the Belk Bowl. We know what happened there, and you ended your season 7-6. So that's a big deal, and it's not the same 10-year, which would be 8 wins if you 9 wins if you ended up getting that 9. But this is a big deal, and I sent a promo to Zach earlier this week. And he's like, we're really going to – and it was like about bowling, Coach Pittman talking about bowling. And he's like, are we really celebrating getting bowl eligible? I was like, dude, it's been 5 years. Like that – I know that doesn't seem like that long, but it's been 5 years of turmoil and disaster for Razorback football. And Tommy, for them to seemingly get back on their feet with bowl eligibility after doing what they get against Mississippi State, it is a breath of fresh air around that facility in this state.
I guess I'll have to have a talk with Zach because it's our job as – host here on the air to have a finger on the pulse of what's going on with the fan base. Clearly he's disconnected, out of touch with Razorback fans, right? Because, yes, being bowl eligible, unfortunately, is a big deal. Don't put your nose up in the air, Zach, like a Notre Dame fan. Don't look down your glasses at us. Hey, it's been a little while. So, yeah, milestones here. Milestones. Get your finger on the pulse, buddy, of the fans here.
I just think that how excited, and I had a chance an opportunity to sit with fans at the end of the Mississippi State game, and it wasn't the same tear in your eyes after you beat the crap out of Texas, but it was a special moment for Arkansas fans when so many things have gone wrong, and for Mississippi State to miss those 3 field goals last week, and especially what would have been the game tie and then send it to overtime. You've had so many things go against you these past few years, and not just that game, but games this season, some of the things that have gone your way, like the interception Monteric had in the Texas A&M game. It's vindication of sorts, and it's great to have things go your way after they have it these past few years.
Hey, want to remind everyone we've got a watch party going on in Northwest Arkansas today. So if you're looking for a place to gather with fans late this afternoon tonight, you can go over to Twin Peaks in Rogers. It's going to be a cool place to hang out. The Ruskin and Zach will be out there. Great crew, giveaways. Good time tonight. So if you're looking for a place to watch the game with your fellow Hog fans, you can do that tonight at Twin Peaks in Rogers.
Coldest beer. And that's not
scenic views.
That's not a fallacy. That is a legitimate fact. I'm telling you, it's what's it called? The frost. Is it the frost? It's called something else.
They have a temperature when you walk in. They've got the temperature of what the beer is at, and it's usually a couple degrees below freezing.
Yeah, it's pretty great. Let's welcome in Ryan from Hot Springs into the program as we go to the phone lines for the first time this morning. Ryan, you are on Arkansas Game Day live from Randall Ford, buddy.
Hey, man, I don't care how good or how long it's been. I don't care if we'd have went last year to a bowl game. I'd be excited about this because you know what? St. Pittman, all the success he's having, he absolutely deserves. And there's nothing more than I want to see St. Pittman succeed. And he's one of us, and I want to see him be here as long as he can. And the more success we have, the more likely, the longer we can keep him because he's such a gem, and it's clear the players want to play for him. So, man, I'm just excited we are getting to go to a bowl. If you'd have told me at the beginning of the season you have to sacrifice the Texas win to go to a bowl game, I'd have done it in a heartbeat. But obviously we don't have to. But man, I'm excited. So let's go beat LSU. I think I like our chances from what I've heard with them having players out. I know it's not it'll still be a tough test, but I like our fortitude and our mental toughness to give us a chance tonight. So let's go Hogs. Let's have a good day, and I'm headed up to Washita, see if I can get a deer in the meantime. So have a good day, and talk to y'all later.
A little late on that start, Ryan, to get to the Deerwood. You're supposed to be there at daylight.
Yeah, I was going to say it's
a little behind schedule. I know you go back out at dark, so maybe that's what he's talking about. He's going to be back. Hey, that's going to be just before kickoff. So you'd have a little window today between maybe the end of basketball and the start of football to slip back out there on that tree stand for a couple hours.
So, typically you hunt it. Again, I haven't been hunting in a while time. You do it at 9 in the morning, right?
Well, generally you want to get into your tree stand or your blind or wherever you're, going to position yourself before daylight so you can kind of get settled and not alert the deer. Then they hopefully get moving in the morning, eating, the white shells tasting around. And then in the evening they do the same thing. So before they bed down, they're going to get to moving again. So once that gunfire goes off, they get a little skittish. So. But yeah, mornings and afternoons. But hey, there's a lot of guys. I guarantee you, there's someone on a tree stand right now that's going to sit there from daylight till dark today, and they've taken snacks and provisions, and they got to figure out how to go to the bathroom. But other than that, they've got it all figured out, and they're waiting on that big one to come by that they've seen on their game camera.
You just soil yourself out there, right? That's
there's
keep yourself warm.
Aids you can take along,
Okay.
We've all peed in a bottle at some point.
It's part of it. So I've done that in plenty of car rides. I'm assuming it's the same as applicable in a deer stand as well. All right, coming up, we want to get into our Bud Light scoreboard update, alert you on some of the games happening right now, and kind of look ahead to some of the games today. You got 2:30, Georgia and Tennessee. You got the night game where Gameday's at between Ole Miss and Texas A&M. A lot still to get to here on Arkansas Game Day, live from Randall Ford.
You're listening to Arkansas Game Day live at Randall Ford, brought to you by Bud Light.
Old Hog Cafe on Phoenix Avenue is now open 11 till 8 Monday through Saturday. Old Hog Cafe has party packs for your watch party, tailgate party, business meetings, or lunch and dinner for the family. You will see a few new items on the menu to go along with the award-winning barbecue and sides. Old Hog Cafe, Phoenix Avenue, offers online ordering at wholehogfortsmith.com, along with curbside and delivery service. Or come see us 11 till 8 Monday through Saturday. Follow Whole Hog Cafe on Facebook and Instagram for specials.
Messy leaks, stopped up toilets and sinks, all of these can be a nightmare. This is Emily with Mr. Rooter Plumbing in Fort Smith. Did you know that when you call Mr. Rooter, you get real-time tracking so you know exactly when to expect us? We know you're busy, so we send a reminder, so scheduling with us is convenient. When you need plumbing, call Mr. Rooter in Fort Smith or book online at mrrooter.com. We're your neighborly company.
Hi, this is Lindsay White with White Office Machines. For over 90 years, my family's been serving the greater Fort Smith region with the image industry's newest technologies, as well as providing superior customer service through long-term business relationships. As the area's only authorized Kyocera document solutions dealer, White Office Machines provides the best value with high-speed copiers and the latest multifunction printers. Stop by our office in downtown Fort Smith or in Russellville. Follow us on Facebook or go to whiteoffice.com.
White Office Machines since 1929.
Where can you get an SEC breakfast burrito? SEC! Or a Jack or Hammer sandwich? Or a Moo Pig burger? Moo Pig Suey! You can get all this and more at Black Dog Meat Company in Booneville. Black Dog Meat Company is a fantastic family-owned restaurant serving some of the best breakfast burritos, sandwiches, burgers, beef jerky, and farm-raised Iowa Black Angus beef steaks in the River Valley. Find Black Dog Meat Company's menu, daily specials, and more on Facebook. No black lives were harmed in the making of this food.
Looking for a career in trucking? JR's Trucking Company, a family-owned and operated company, has prided itself on being a safe, reliable, and dedicated carrier. Headquartered in Van Buren, Arkansas since 2002, JR's Trucking Company specializes in transporting poultry and produce across the United States. They offer competitive pay and benefits, weekly home time, plus an $8,000 sign-on bonus. Get on the road to success. Contact JR's Trucking Company today at 1-800-428-4033. JR's Trucking Company, a professional team you can count on.
Metal Mart offers high-quality prefabricated metal buildings, metal roofing, custom trim shops, carports, and more. They strive to be a company where contractors as well as do-it-yourselfers are welcome. Metal Mart assists you in calculating the materials needed to complete your project, all at a rate you can afford. They have locations in Fort Smith, Mayflower, Jonesboro, Pine Bluff, and Little Rock. Or you can find them online at metalmarts.com. Metal Mart, the right material for the right price.
Frank Row Furniture's November Super Black Friday Plus sale. We are running a sale that will save you hundreds of dollars. On top of that, we are having our Super Black Friday Plus sale all month long. Here's where the plus comes in. After saving hundreds of dollars on already marked down prices, get another 10% off on top of that. Frank Row Furniture's November Super Black Friday Plus sale. Frank Row Furniture. Best seats in the house.
It's No Shave November, benefiting the Arkansas Prostate Cancer Foundation. Show support for prostate cancer survivors and help raise money to support the mission of the Arkansas Prostate Cancer Foundation. Donate online at arprostatecancer.org. All money raised supports Arkansas Prostate Cancer Foundation's free awareness and educational programs, free prostate cancer screenings, and free patient assistance programs. And every dollar raised stays in Arkansas. Prostate cancer screenings can save your life. Donate today at arprostatecancer.org.
ESPN 95.3.
You're listening to Arkansas Game Day live at Randall Ford, brought to you by Bud Light.
It's a good snap. The kick is on the way. It's a line drive. He missed it. He missed it. Arkansas wins. He missed it to the left, and the Razorbacks have won it.
Call or text the program at 877-377-6963.
I don't think I'll ever get tired of Chuck Barrett's call as Arkansas defeated Mississippi State this past week. And we actually have the call that Chuck made back in 2007 in Death Valley when Arkansas defeated LSU. We'll play that call for you later on. But, Tommy, I do want to get into our Bud Light scoreboard updates. We're live here from Randall Ford, 5500 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. And, Tommy, one of the things that I will definitely be consuming tonight at my buddy's wedding is some ice-cold, crispy Bud Light.
Well, they've been brewed to be perfect for anywhere there is fun, even at a football season wedding, because when there's fun, there's Bud Light there. Every bottle, can, and draft of Bud Light uses 4 simple, high-quality ingredients to create a clean, crisp taste. Bud Light, please drink responsibly.
So we mentioned the UConn score on Clemson. What has happened down there in Clemson, South Carolina is so staggering, so wild to me, how much of a drop-off they've taken and no longer in the top 25, just have fallen off completely. I don't even know what the best team in the ACC is. Is it Wake Forest? Is it Pittsburgh? Is it North Carolina State? You don't know. It's always been Clemson the past, 10 years, and now you're just kind of throwing up a dice, and you don't know what number it's going to land on, man.
So Clemson leads 10-7, 3 minutes to go in the first quarter. UConn, we're trying to put it in the right terms how bad they are. They're 1-8 on the year. I mean, that's if you don't follow UConn, and who does, they've won 1 game in 9 tries. So, I mean, this is what happens when you miss a recruiting class or two, or I don't know if it's resting on your laurels, but clearly, there's a severe drop-off at quarterback. I don't think that explains it all, but Clemson right now, and I'd love to get to a point. Listen, you'd love for Arkansas's program to get to a point where you're 6-3 and it's epic struggles, So that's where they're at with 3 losses this year, is on the struggle bus.
Penn State's currently up 3-0 on Michigan. That's a game being played in Happy Valley right now. 2.5-point favorites were the visiting Wolverines. That Michigan's got 1 loss already. Tommy, if they want any shot at the college football playoff, they've got to pull it out against James Franklin and company today.
We're talking about programs that kind of slid backwards. Boy, Penn State's another one that had a red-hot start, but now 3 losses in Big Ten play, and they could be spoiler. They could be the spoiler today to Michigan, who finds themselves just outside the college football playoff, ranked at number 6.
All right, another game that's going on right now, top 20, staying within the top 25. Wisconsin's currently up 7-0 on Northwestern. You were surprised that New Mexico State, they didn't manage a touchdown, but they did manage a field goal, 7-3 right now in the first against Alabama.
Well, Bama's not quite what they've been, but I don't think that's the indication. But New Mexico State 1-8 on the year. I mean, I just noticed these 7-3, and normally if Bama's going to give up some garbage points, it's late in the ball game. But don't worry, I think Bama's going to roll just fine. So.
We got a defensive battle going right now in Waco, Texas. It's the Baylor Bears and the Oklahoma Sooners are currently knotted up 0-0 in Waco. Tommy, that is not going to be an easy game for Caleb Williams and that Sooners offense today.
No, and this kind of just sums up the Big 12 in a nutshell. This is why Oklahoma and Texas are joining the league. You got number 13 Baylor against number 8 Oklahoma, and it's being played at 11 a.m. I mean, this is exactly why the Big 12 is on the ropes as a conference.
I saw that Fox has been putting up some pretty good numbers because they've had some marquee games. But I know Arkansas fans, you think back to the Georgia game, College Gameday comes down, and they were frustrated. As a road team, they were frustrated. Can you imagine being Oklahoma or Ohio State, your biggest games each and every week are being played? That would drive me nuts.
Well, I mean, what was our chief complaint, or what should have been our chief complaint, other than the inability to fully tailgate? What's the problem with the 11 a.m. games here at Arkansas?
The problem recruiting.
Recruiting. I mean, so you think Oklahoma doesn't have the same problem?
Yeah.
Or Baylor or Texas or anyone else that when you're in the that's the problem with the Big 12. The marquee game of the week, 8 versus 13, and this isn't just this week, it's everywhere, is the big game on Fox at 11 a.m. Because why is it? Because they know that, hey, if we go head-to-head with the SEC, we'll get crushed. And they don't want to get crushed. So, but can't be great for Oklahoma, Baylor, Texas, anybody else in the Big 12 to have the same recruiting struggles to get visits in for an 11 a.m. game, just like Arkansas struggles with.
That's good point. Final top 25 matchup that we've yet to mention, Tommy. Mississippi State currently down to Auburn 7-3. If we look at the other SEC matchups today, if there's anything going on right now. Samford, Tommy, Samford is up on Florida in the first quarter, 14-7. 14-7.
Okay, I've got 14-13 now.
14. Then they just must have scored.
4:02 left to go first quarter, and Florida just hit a passing touchdown. Emory Jones to Jamarcus Weston, 9 yards for a touchdown. So it just happened.
It's one thing to
it's about to be tied at 14, presuming they hit the PAT.
Tommy, it's one thing to be at school in Tuscaloosa that you go down to Florida and you hang some points on them, but it is another thing for Samford, also residing in Alabama, who apparently I've seen brochures. Apparently that is the most beautiful campus in the country. I've yet to visit it. I'd like to at some point in time.
Better than Fayetteville?
Apparently better than Fayetteville is what I've been told. That's, Tommy, to be Florida, we're talking about LSU letting go of the rope. You can't give up 14 to Samford in the first quarter, man. Dan Mullen, man.
Who's the head coach in the second half? I'll hang up and listen.
Yeah, seriously.
Florida may fire him at
halftime.
All right, they made the extra points, so we're knotted at 14 in a battle in the swamp.
Man,
so, I mean, he loses this game, he's out, right?
Yeah.
If Florida lost today, Dan Mullen's fired.
Oh, yeah.
It's got particularly with everything that's swirled around him. He's fired coaches off his staff already. I mean, I don't see how Mullen can survive a loss today with the heat around him with a 4-5. He goes to 4-6 and assures them of not having a winning record this year. I think he's out.
Yeah. I don't know how you – now, Scott Strickland,
heart.
there is a connection. Yeah, I feel so bad.
He's in over his head, man. It worked at Mississippi State, and he got Dak Prescott, and that was the golden ticket for him. And he's a good quarterback whisperer, I suppose. But I've never been big on Dan Mullen as a head coach, and when I had that opinion, even when they were a top 5 team, I got beat up over that. I've never thought Dan Mullen was one of the elite head coaches in this league, and when they were flying high, everybody thought he was. Oh, he's right up there in the same conversation with Saban and Urban Meyer and Les Miles and some of the greats. Nonsense. And we're seeing what happens now that he gets in there and the effects of his program have fully taken over.
Yeah, I think, Tommy, some guys are just meant to be really good offensive coordinators or defensive coordinators. And maybe Dan Mullins, I know that he's been linked to the National Football League several times. Maybe he takes that jump after this year. He just doesn't like recruiting, and Florida can recruit itself, right? You could have a top 10, 15 class of recruiting by staying home all summer, and I don't think he does that, but he has not had positive things to say about recruiting. When you're going up against Kirby Smart, Dabo Swinney, and Nick Saban all within, 200 to 300 miles of you trying to pluck guys away in your state. And, dude, think about this, Tommy. Florida State and Miami have been terrible. They've been awful, and you haven't capitalized on that.
Well,
like, what are you doing, my man?
I mean, there's ponds, there's lakes, and there's oceans, and you can be a big fish in all three. I think he's more of a lake guy. I mean, Florida's out in the ocean, right? They're swimming with the sharks. They're at Florida. That's big boy football. He's just, Starkville, Oxford. I mean, let's be honest, Fayetteville's in that group there that you're not quite with the big boys swimming with the sharks in the deep water. That's kind of. I just think he's in over his head at Florida, and I think we're seeing that right now.
I think Clay said it best last week when he would do his media press conferences. He only dealt with 2 or 3 guys in Starkville, and we know how much attention is paid to the Florida Gators. That's what I said about Chad Morris. Chad Morris at SMU was like the 10th most paid attention sports team. I mean, there are high schools that got more media coverage than SMU. He didn't know what this job entailed at Arkansas. And I think Sam had a better idea being here and just being in the Southeastern Conference. And I think, as you just said, Dan is a little bit over his head.
He knew what he was getting into because he was on the staff at Florida during their heyday with Spurrier. So I mean, he knew what was coming. But I just, some people can handle it, some people can't. I'm always amazed because I'm afraid I would fall in this category. You get to a point, hey, I got $15 or $20 million in the bank. Well, your give-a-dang can be busted pretty quick. I don't know if Mullen's in that camp. I mean, I always am impressed by these guys that got tens of millions of dollars, cash stacked to the ceiling, and they're still motivated to go recruit, to coach, to develop, to do all the things they do. I'd just be looking for the beach, my man. I mean that's why I'm not doing this. I am always amazed how these guys continue to have the drive they do, and right now we're seeing maybe, I don't know if that's the issue with Mullen, but clearly something's a disconnect between him, his staff, his players. It's just not fitting. But, again, I'm afraid I'd be having toes in the water.
Well, I was going to say, can we find a vice for Nick Saban? Can we find one to weaken him?
Where's
Who knows?
His weakness? Exactly.
Someone's got to find it. 877-377-6963. Little, again, unique show today. We're starting early. Arkansas basketball pregame coverage is going to begin at 1:30. So Tommy and I will take you up to this point. So we still got a lot of time for you to jump in on the conversation as it is Arkansas Game Day live from Randall Ford, 5500 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith.
You're listening to Arkansas Game Day live at Randall Ford, brought to you by Bud Light.
Randall Ford, 5500 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith is a place to be if you're looking for quality, certified, pre-owned vehicles. And when we're talking trucks, we're talking Randall Ford. Whether you're wanting one that's one of the Leadfoot Grays, we have those. Raptors, oh yeah, we have those. If you're looking for the Venom R, they're built specially for Randall Ford. I have a gorgeous lifted Venom R sitting right here by me. So come by and check out all the trucks, all the selection today at 5500 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith at Randall Ford.
It's No Shave November, benefiting the Arkansas Prostate Cancer Foundation. Show support for prostate cancer survivors and help raise money to support the mission of the Arkansas Prostate Cancer Foundation. Donate online at arprostatecancer.org. All money raised supports Arkansas Prostate Cancer Foundation's free awareness and educational programs, free prostate cancer screenings, and free patient assistance programs. And every dollar raised stays in Arkansas. Prostate cancer screenings can save your life. Donate today at arprostatecancer.org.
This is Arkansas Game Day.
Two of the best seasons are in November, football season and hunting season. Take TV on the go no matter where you're at with a Playmaker from World of Wireless.
With those two great things, two great events happening in fall, you need one more great thing, and that's the Playmaker. It's the all-new Playmaker. It's the size of a cooler. Get all your channels. So you can get football. You can also wake up and watch your hunting shows if you didn't get one that day. But you can sit around camp all weekend, deer camp all weekend, fishing weekend, and watch all your favorite movies, all your favorite football games, all your favorite shows if the hunting's not that good.
Plus, you can use it the rest of the year, whether you're going to the lake, your second home, anywhere you want to take TV on the go, you take the Playmaker along.
Essentially with that, you can have two locations with one account. So don't waste money on cable at home. Switch to Dish, get the Playmaker, have TV service in two places, especially at your tailgate or your hunting deer camp.
All right, take the Playmaker to deer camp or the tailgate this year with World of Wireless and ask about the Duo where you can power two different TVs.
And we rent them also for your deer camp.
877-305-DISH for WOW World of Wireless.
Family first. My dad used to tell us that all the time. But family first wasn't just something he'd say to us. It was how he lived every day of his life. and it's how I try to live mine, too.
At Shelter Insurance, our agents are dedicated to helping provide personalized auto, home, and life protection that puts your family first.
Ask Shelter agents Brandon Zimmerman or Chris Dooley about a free insurance review. What do you get when you pull into Tony's Tire Service? You get the best selection of tires for any car, truck, or commercial vehicle. Tony's Tire Service has Cooper tires and is ready to serve you to get you back on the road safely. They'll also get your vehicle fixed with brake replacements plus an alignment with the best repair guy in the area. Tony's Tire Service has been serving the River Valley for over 34 years. Come let our guys replace your tires with Cooper tires and our service department to make sure the vehicle has the best brakes and alignments. Tony's Tire Service, 7200 South 28th Street in Fort Smith. Service you can depend on.
For 46 years, we've guaranteed you're going to get the best deal and the best value at Phil Wright Autoplex. Come pick out your Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, or Toyota. Come see why we're selling more cars than ever before. Phil Wright Autoplex, X84, just off 540, Russellville. Or shop us online at PhilWright.com. For 46 years, we've guaranteed you're going to get the best deal and the best value at Phil Wright Autoplex. Come pick out your Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, or Toyota. Come see why we're selling more cars than ever before. Phil Wright Autoplex, X84, just off 540, Russellville. Or shop us online at PhilWright.com.
It's time to order your Thanksgiving turkey, and the place to call is Bruce Terry Drive-In. Get your smoked turkey order in by November the 15th. Bruce Terry Drive-In and Catering has been serving the River Valley since 1961 with some of the best burgers, barbecue, and catfish you ever put in your mouth. Daily specials Monday through Friday till 8 p.m. and Saturday till 3 p.m. Visit Bruce Terry at 1102 Fort Street in Barling or call in your order at 452-8171 and follow them on Facebook or Instagram.
The Peter Pender Zone of Wave Rural Connect is open. That fiber internet, phone, and TV service you've been hearing so much about is now available for areas south of the Arkansas River to Coxville, to east of Cecil, and over to Roseville, with amazingly fast internet starting at $49.95 a month. Call 1-833-4WAVE-RC or go online to signup.waveruralconnect.com to get signed up. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities that we serve.
Make Awake Bait and Tackle on Highway 64 between Van Buren and Alma has everything a fisherman needs. Rods, reels, tackle, plastics, all kinds of great baits to catch a wall hanger. Rods starting at $69.95. The biggest selection of plastics in the River Valley. Reaction Innovation, Bobby Garland, Lake Fork-Hugon, and more. And Make Awake has Daiwa rods and reels, and they repair them too. Make Awake Bait and Tackle, 1 mile east of I-540 on Highway 64 between Van Buren and Alma. Make Awake Bait and Tackle.
ESPN 95.3.
You're listening to Arkansas Game Day live at Randall Ford, brought to you by Bud Light.
It's a good snap. The kick is on the way. It's a line drive. He missed it. He missed it. Arkansas wins. He missed it to the left, and the Razorbacks have won it.
Call or text the program at 877-377-6963.
So got about an hour and a half and a little change of Arkansas Game Day as we're live from Randall Ford, 5500 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. Now, Tommy, we updated our listeners on some of the games that are going on right now. I know Georgia, Tennessee coming up at 2:30, Texas A&M and Ole Miss later on tonight. Is there a game between those two that you're, more intrigued to see, or is there a game later on that you're going to be coinciding with this Arkansas LSU game as well?
Well, I do think it's intriguing to see what A&M can do tonight. I mean, they've been very inconsistent. This is a huge game. A&M Ole Miss, I don't know. Arkansas and LSU is intriguing to us, but, if you were just anywhere, this would be the game everyone wants to watch tonight in the SEC, no question. So, yeah, I'll have one TV on the Hogs and one on Ole Miss and A&M tonight.
I've got my charger with me, Tommy, and I would assume that there's going to be several men at this wedding that will be probably perched up at this one table, if I had to guess. I'm excited about tonight. I'm kind of in the groomsmen text, even though I'm not a groomsman itself, and there's a lot of energy surrounding tonight's events. I will say, Tommy, you and I have talked a little bit about investments as of late in the last couple months. I'm trying to kind of dip my toes in the water. I've got no girlfriend, no child, nothing that's sucking life and sucking money from me. So I'm thinking, let me think about the future a little bit. One of the things that we both agree on is wedding venues. If you have the capital and the funds, might be a good time to invest in one of those based on how much you can seemingly make out of an event every weekend, man.
Yeah, and I'd be all in on that action right there. Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, I've got a daughter that's getting married next year, and yeah, I've seen the list, and you're exactly right. Anything involved in a wedding is what we ought to be in. That'll be our total business: photography, DJ, caterer, tent rentals. Yeah, any of that stuff, you just get smoked on that stuff.
Yeah. You're more than welcome to jump in the conversation, whether it's weddings, whether it's Arkansas LSU. I know Tommy was asking y'all for gumbo recipes, jambalaya recipes, and other stuff earlier. Feel free, 877-377-6963. We'll talk some basketball in hour number 2 of Arkansas Game Day as Arkansas gets ready for Gardner-Webb this afternoon. That game will kick off at 2. I was talking with Charles Ballantyne at the game this past week. He said don't look past these guys. These guys can play, so just be ready for a good game today. If you're making it to Bud Walton Arena and then watching the Arkansas LSU game, you're in for a treat all day today. A lot of Razorback sports and a lot of Arkansas Game Day coming up live from Randall Ford, 5500 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith.
Randall Ford, 5500 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith is a place to be if you're looking for quality, certified, pre-owned vehicles. And when we're talking trucks, we're talking Randall Ford. Whether you're wanting one that's one of the Leadfoot Grays, we have those. Raptors, oh yeah, we have those. If you're looking for the Venom R, they're built specially for Randall Ford. I have a gorgeous lifted Venom R sitting right here by me. So come by and check out all the trucks, all the selection today at 5500 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith at Randall Ford.
You've trained for this all year. Endless hours of cardio, conditioning, and weights. And now you are ready. Ready to trek back to your seat from the concession stand. Through the lines, lost fans, and that mascot who wants you to do a little dancey dance, all without spilling a drop of your ice-cold Bud Light. Welcome back to football, sports fans.
Lock in your price for 2 years and get a free Google Mesh router when you make the move to Dish right now with World of Wireless. Call 877-305-DISH.
Dish and WOW is always giving you free gifts to sign up for new service. Get the Hopper system installed for free, free voice remotes, free 3 months of movie channels absolutely free 2-year price lock. That's the important thing. Sign up by November 16th. You have about 2 weeks to sign up, get installed, and you'll save for the next 2 years on your TV service with the Hopper 3 system, and we're going to throw in $150 Google Mesh router absolutely free when you sign up for new service.
And it sure makes automating the home and everything in your home easier to operate with this Google router.
And get 3 TVs in the home, less than $80 installed, but you got to call us now. World of Wireless, 877-305-DISH. Get all the freebies with Dish by November 16th.
And nobody likes when prices go up, and you get a 2-year price guarantee to keep that low price with Dish. 877-305-DISH is the number. That's 877-305-3474 for World of Wireless.
For 33 years, Manfield's Automotive Parts City Auto Parts has been trusted as your one-stop for all your vehicle needs. Get a great deal on a Superstar battery and any of the products you need for the do-it-yourself upkeep on your car or truck. When you need work done, Mansfield Automotive Parts City Auto Parts does everything from oil changes, brakes, alignments, diagnostic work, air conditioning, and more. Mansfield Automotive Parts City Auto Parts in downtown Mansfield is open 8 to 5:30 Monday through Friday and 8 to 1 on Saturdays.
Old Hog Cafe on Phoenix Avenue is now open 11 till 8 Monday through Saturday. Old Hog Cafe has party packs for your watch party, tailgate party, business meetings, or lunch and dinner for the family. You will see a few new items on the menu to go along with the award-winning barbecue and sides. Old Hog Cafe, Phoenix Avenue, offers online ordering at wholehogfortsmith.com, along with curbside and delivery service. Or come see us 11 till 8 Monday through Saturday. Follow Whole Hog Cafe on Facebook and Instagram for specials.
The most wonderful time of the year for the deer hunter is now. Get ready at Jelco Outdoors and bag a wall hanger this year. Deer rifles, ladder stands, hang-ons, box blinds and climbers, deer attractants, sit covers, headlamps, skinning knives, buckshot ammo, and much, much more. Everything you need for deer season is waiting for you at Jelco Outdoors. Good luck and safe hunting from Jelco. And remember, a great hunt begins at Jelco Outdoors.
Are you looking for a great deal on a previously owned vehicle but want to avoid high-pressure sales? If so, you need to visit Edwards Auto Sales in Rowland. For over 31 years, Ernie Edwards and his staff have helped folks from Arkansas and Oklahoma River Valley buy a quality vehicle and offer a buy here, pay here in-house financing program as part of their services. Some restrictions may apply. Come visit Edwards Auto Center, 3 miles west of the Garrison Bridge, the first car dealer on your right, or log on at edwardsautosalesinc.com.
Some of my fondest childhood memories are from volunteering with my grandmother. Helping others was her passion. She'd always say, "The sweetest fruits of life come from serving others." And she was right.
At Shelter Insurance, we strive to make a positive impact in the communities where we work and live.
Ask Shelter Agent Phil Hicks about a free insurance review.
Hey Arkansas fans, this is JD with JD's River Valley Restoration and Detail. We offer full details, paint correction, ceramic coating, and much, much more. There's a reason why we've been voted best of the best 5 years in a row. Stop by 5606 Towson for an estimate or give us a call today at 479-629-7486. Again, that's 629-7486. We're open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. JD's River Valley Restoration, where we're making new relationships one vehicle at a time.
Radio station.
KERX, Paris, Fort Smith, from the Bushlight Studios. This is ESPN 95.3.
This is Arkansas Game Day live at Randall Ford, 5500 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith.
Jefferson in the gun, gets the snap. Here they come. Slant over the middle, complete. Burks, touchdown, Arkansas!
Arkansas Game Day is brought to you by Bud Light, the world's favorite light beer.
Jefferson to Johnson, up the middle, touchdown, Arkansas!
Call or text the program at 877-377-6963.
We love playing Chuck Barrett's calls for you, and we're going to have the call that he had in 2007 against the LSU Tigers game winner coming up here on Arkansas Game Days. We are live from Randall Ford, 5500 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. But we do want to spend some time here, talk a little Arkansas basketball. We're going to have pregame coverage beginning at 1:30, and then the game will be at 2 across these airwaves and hitthatline.com. And Tommy also has a little something for you all that are listening to the program right now.
I do?
You do?
What do I got?
I don't know it yet. What you were saying in the break.
I'm just messing with you. Hey, I've got 2 tickets for today's basketball game that I'm not going to be able to use, and good seats. So if someone can go, we can electronically transfer them. You don't have to worry about picking them up. We'll just send them to you. Got 2 tickets for today's game that starts in 2 hours. So if you want to go to Bud Walton, watch some basketball ahead of the football game, 877-377-6963, and I can hook one person up with some tickets for today's game.
How many fans do you think will be there today? We mentioned it'll be light. What's light? 7,000? 6,000?
Who knows, because they don't tell us. But
you're still salty about that.
Yeah, if you're calling, hang on. Just hang on hold. I'll get to you in a minute because I've got to do both here today. But I think 10,000 would be a good number today, considering it's the opening day of deer season. It's a fairly nice day, sun shining around the state. So I think 10,000 would be a great number today. If you could fill up that lower bowl, that'd be good.
Yeah, let me tell you a little bit about this game today. It's going to be on the SEC Network Plus. Excuse me, good grief. Ronnie Brewer's actually going to be on the telecast. Obviously, you can hear it right here with on ESPN Arkansas. I know that Learfield is bringing someone in because Chuck and Phil are down there in Baton Rouge. But they'll have that, and then Ronnie Brewer gets on the call. They got Josh Haley doing the play-by-play. But some notes today. Again, Arkansas has sold out this season, which is a big deal. It hasn't been done in quite some time. I think it was either 02 or 03 the last time that hadn't been sold or has been sold out. If you haven't got a chance to see the new warm-up, Coach Muss and company are really trying to push this. 30 minutes prior to tip-off, they're going to do a combination of like Harlem Globetrotters and Remember the Titans type of setup. Yeah. For the ones that have attended and told me it was pretty cool. So at some point in time, I'm gonna make my way up there and make sure to get there early and go see that.
But Musselman's warned us. You better get here. If it's not getting the fans in the stands early, they're going to quit doing it. So better get there early today for that. All right, James in Northwest Arkansas wanted the tickets.
There you go.
we got somebody. It didn't take long at all to get somebody to want to go to the game today on kind of short notice. So James, enjoy the seats today, and I'll send them to you here in the next break.
There was an Arkansas guy that was fighting last night. We had the dual box set up on the televisions. We're watching college basketball on one and the fights on the other. Unfortunately, the Arkansas guy got his butt whooped. But I was watching two SEC teams in particular last night, the Alabama Crimson Tide. And I'm speaking of basketball at this point. The Alabama Crimson Tide and the Kentucky Wildcats. Tommy, there's a reason that those two are 1-2 in your league right now, and Arkansas is 3. Those teams look really good. Javon Quinterly, the former 5-star kid that was at Villanova and is now at Alabama, he had a fantastic game last night. DJ Shackelford looked really good. Then you looked at Kentucky. They've got that stud rebounder, Tishawe. I know he's a transfer from West Virginia. Davion Mintz is kind of an older guy. Both those teams are going to be good because they have experience and young talent. And I'm really excited for this SEC basketball season as it slates. And I know Coach Muss was telling us how excited he is and just how much talent is in this league, not just the players-wise, but the coaches as well.
Okay, so I've started paying attention to Arkansas basketball because that kind of goes with the territory. I wonder how many of our listeners have, and I think it's a much, much higher number, but based on just the interest we have. But at what point, Ty, do those listening and our audience and the primary fan base here in Arkansas start paying attention to other college basketball teams? At what point, yes, okay, we're paying attention to Arkansas basketball as fans. At what point, like you just said, you pay attention to Kentucky, Alabama, Auburn, Tennessee, the other top teams in the league, and you're watching their games and you're figuring out who their players are and kind of the way the league shakes up? Because I don't think most fans are even thinking about that right now.
I think it's the weekend or the week after the final regular season game because you'll have that gap of 3 to 4 weeks between the Arkansas's last regular season game and their bowl game. And Arkansas fans will be looking for content. And if I had to get – we'll have the conference championship games that next weekend in football. But I would say it would probably be – so the Missouri – you play Missouri on – is it 27th?
26th, the Friday, the day after Thanksgiving.
It's 26. So that would be my guess that following week.
Yeah, I don't think it's even then. I think then, a lot of people shift to the NFL because we still love football first. And in Arkansas, I think you'll pay a little more attention maybe to that holiday classic or the Thanksgiving classic, but that's still not other teams in the country. I think it's conference play, man, when you get some of those Tuesday and Wednesday games that are on the SEC network. There's still so much football in December. I think it's hard for a lot of people to really lock in on basketball until sometimes even February for the hardcore guys because they're still watching the NFL. So I don't know how much Kentucky and Tennessee and Bama and those teams that the average fans watch. I think it'll be a little bit earlier, though, this year. Rather than February, it's January because if this team's panning out to be as good as you hope they can be.
So let me ask you something. What are they doing on Tuesdays and Wednesdays? Because on Thursdays and Mondays, you still got NFL. Sundays, you obviously have NFL. You still have college games on Saturday for football-wise. What are you doing on Tuesdays? Is that your rom-com? Is that your sitcom? Is that your dude, I don't know what TV show's on right now outside of Yellowstone.
You're still in that mode where, as you said, no wife, no kids. You get to watch anything and everything you want on TV.
Glorious.
You don't have to. I've got a choir concert I got to go to that's on my calendar in a couple of weeks.
That sounds awful.
Well, it'll be coming your way soon. A 6th grade choir concert. Can you imagine how much fun that's going to be in place of Monday Night Football that week? So, so you don't live the life that many my age and older, and you'll get there someday. You're just at a different stage in life. So to you, it seems odd that you mean you don't watch college basketball every night during the week in December before you watch the NFL end of the regular season in December? No. So that doesn't happen every night. So.
Yeah. It's a little.
You got holiday parties. You got kids' activity. You get a lot of things that happen in December just ahead of the Christmas break.
Yeah, I will say, Tommy, it's funny. I have different stages of friends. I have those that are married. I have those that are married with kids. I have those that are engaged. I have those that live together, and one of my best friends who he just moved in. He had to fight tooth and nail, but he got it done. He has a 2 television setup in their living room, and his reasoning and rationale and philosophy, which I think is great, is they'll never fight over what's on. They can always have what they want, what his lady would like on one TV and what he would like on one TV. There's no fights ever.
Yeah, but
because
who gets
of
the sound? Who gets to turn their TV up?
That's still a big deal, but it's still not as bad as not getting anything at all, because as you mentioned, I don't know if Laura's ever dragged you into the living room and made you watch The Bachelor or made you watch The Bachelorette or something like that.
My wife loves me.
Yeah, that would be something that would be quite frustrating. Luckily, I'm at the point in we have 3 TVs in our living room because it's a bachelor pad with 3 dudes. But I get that perspective. So I guess with stuff going on, with kids going on in the week, you can't do that. So I would tend to lean to what you're saying. It's definitely later on, but it'll still be earlier, as you just brought up, than it typically is because of the hype surrounding this Arkansas basketball team.
And just because you're watching, just because you got the SEC Network on and Tennessee's playing somebody, doesn't mean you're locked in. But I do think it's earlier this year, and it's interesting that I mean, I know you're a college basketball junkie. I think most people are college football junkies that listen, and secondary is basketball and or baseball. So, but I think it's earlier this year. Again, we talked about exhibition games for the first time ever in the history of the Morning Rush, where people are paying attention. I would like to see actual attendance figures for these games, because I think it'd be impressive, but I think administration up there worries about us not understanding what impressive is. You get over 10,000 for Gardner-Webb. You get over 10,000, 12,000 for You've got some of the largest crowds in the country watching games like this right now. We're still in the southeast part of the country, the Southeastern Conference, where football is king. I think it's impressive when you have 10, 12, 13,000 people there for a ball game. Maybe I'll be surprised, and today it's not that way. I just think hunting season takes a lot of people out of the mix for today's game against Gardner-Webb.
It's funny you mentioned this kid. We'll wrap up on this because I think we're making some good points. It's funny you mentioned kid stuff. Tommy, in our family group text right now, my oldest stepsister and brother-in-law are at their oldest son's football game. Yeah. I guarantee you, if their son wasn't playing football right now, my brother-in-law's keister would be on the couch or on his lazy boy watching college game day and football from some of it. That's just that's different stages of life.
Baylor here to get in the end zone.
Yeah, come on,
Bears. Down to the 6-yard line. Let's go.
Punch it in, Gary Bohannon, former Earl Arkansas quarterback.
He's 4 of 11 today for 49 yards. I can read it right off the screen to you.
Come on, Gary. 877-377-6963. A lot more college football talk, more Arkansas LSU talk coming your way live from Randall Ford on Arkansas Game Day.
You're listening to Arkansas Game Day live at Randall Ford, brought to you by Bud Light.
Randall Ford, 5500 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith is a place to be if you're looking for quality, certified, pre-owned vehicles. And when we're talking trucks, we're talking Randall Ford. Whether you're wanting one that's one of the Leadfoot Grays, we have those. Raptors, oh yeah, we have those. If you're looking for the Venom R, they're built specially for Randall Ford. I have a gorgeous lifted Venom R sitting right here by me. So come by and check out all the trucks, all the selection today at 5500 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith at Randall Ford.
In sports, if you think joy only happens after you win, think again. Look at the world's most successful athletes like Serena Williams, Brooks Koepka, and Alex Morgan. They don't spend all their days grinding away. They take time to enjoy themselves, like getting together with friends over a Michelob Ultra, because they know that happiness is the key to winning, and that joy is the whole game, not just the end game. Michelob Ultra, 95 calories, 2.6 grams of carbs. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. AB Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
This is Arkansas Game Day.
November is one of the best football months of the year. Watch it in style with Dish from World of Wireless, 877-305-DISH.
Call Wow Now or go to our website, shopwownow.com. Get the all-new Hopper system installed absolutely free. Get a $150 free gift when you sign up for service, a mesh Google router. But more importantly, did you know you can record 16 games on a Saturday? I mean, sometimes there'll be 4, 5, 6 games on at once, and maybe you like 2 or 3 of the teams. You can get all those games recorded. Now, nobody's really going to record 16, but you can if you want to, and you can record your Wi-Fi wife's favorite movie if you need to also.
And with all the technology built into the Hopper 3, it's easier than ever to record your favorite shows, even watch Netflix, Prime Video, and more with the Hopper 3 from Dish.
That's right. Call 877-305-DISH. Remember, you get the free voice remote, so you can just say, find Razorbacks football, and it'll find you that channel.
Full of technology, you'll love the Hopper 3 from World of Wireless and lock in your price for the next 2 years. Call 877-305-DISH. That's 877-305-3474.
Where can you get an SEC breakfast burrito?
SEC!
Or a Jack or Hammer sandwich? Or a Moo Pig burger? Moo Pig Suey! You can get all this and more at Black Dog Meat Company in Booneville. Black Dog Meat Company is a fantastic family-owned restaurant serving some of the best breakfast burritos, sandwiches, burgers, beef jerky, and farm-raised Iowa Black Angus beef steaks in the River Valley. Find Black Dog Meat Company's menu, daily specials, and more on Facebook. No black labs were harmed in the making of this food.
Reduce your home energy bills while increasing your comfort. AOG and OG&E are offering a weatherization program that provides free home energy efficiency upgrades to current customers in Arkansas and Oklahoma. If your home is at least 10 years old, it may qualify for these upgrades, which include attic insulation, caulking, air sealing, weather stripping, and LED lighting. To find out how you can benefit from these free home weatherization improvements, contact 844-413-3065 or visit AOGC.com.
Make a Wake Bait and Tackle on Highway 64 between Van Buren and Alma has everything a fisherman needs. Rods, reels, tackle, plastics, all kinds of great baits to catch a wall hanger. Rods starting at $69.95. The biggest selection of plastics in the River Valley. Reaction Innovation, Bobby Garland, Lake Fork Hugin, and more. And Make a Wake has Daiwa rods and reels, and they repair them too. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle, 1 mile east of I-540 on Highway 64 between Van Buren and Alma. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle.
For 46 years, we've guaranteed you're going to get the best deal and the best value at Phil Wright Autoplex. Come pick out your Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, or Toyota. Come see why we're selling more cars than ever before. Phil Wright Autoplex, X84, just off 540, Russellville. Or shop us online at PhilWright.com. For 46 years, we've guaranteed you're going to get the best deal and the best value at Phil Wright Autoplex. Come pick out your Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, or Toyota. Come see why we're selling more cars than ever before. Phil Wright Autoplex, X84, just off 540, Russellville. Or shop us online at PhilWright.com.
Some of my fondest childhood memories are from volunteering with my grandmother. Helping others was her passion. She'd always say, the sweetest fruits of life come from serving others. And she was right.
At Shelter Insurance, we strive to make a positive impact in the communities where we work and live.
Ask Shelter Agent Phil Hicks about a free insurance review.
So this one time at B-Dubs, a couple of friends came in for football, and they asked for the best seats in the house, which is kind of a trick question. Since we've got wall-to-wall TVs, you can watch the game in any direction. Kind of makes every seat in the house the best seat in the house. So when I explained all that, they just sat at the bar, because you got to be close to the beer on game days. Come into Buffalo Wild Wings for the absolute best game day experience the NFL can offer. Buffalo Wild Wings, to the greatest of all times.
Touchdown! Unbelievable!
Please drink responsibly.
ESPN 95.3.
You're listening to Arkansas Game Day live at Randall Ford, brought to you by Bud Light.
It's a good snap. The kick is on the way. It's a line drive. He missed it. He missed it. Arkansas wins. He missed it to the left, and the Razorbacks have won it.
Call or text the program at 877-377-6963.
We're live here from Randall Ford, 5500 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith, where they have the all Ford F-150s in stock right now. It is America's number one truck in the country. Plus, it's the number one selling brand. They've been doing it around here since 1908, the fourth oldest Ford dealership in America. They also have pre-owned selection, not just Ford, but whatever car, SUV, truck you're in the market for, you're going to find it here at Randall Ford, 5500 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. I want to update you on some scores coming up in about 10 or 15 minutes on your Bud Light scoreboard update, but I want to take you back 2 years ago. Arkansas is a heavy underdog taking on the eventual national champion Joe Burrow and company, and if you remember, there were some Arkansas fans that were freaking out in a conversation caught on camera between Traylon Burks and Ed Ogeron, because you out there, and maybe I threw some gasoline on the fire too. You saw this conversation, you're thinking, what's he saying? What's the Warren, Arkansas, a little south, a little closer to LSU? Is Eddie O trying to recruit him like he did with Jefferson and those Jamar Chase and those talented wide receivers? What's he doing? Luckily enough, and Traylon didn't have a single touchdown all season, and they couldn't get him the football because Chad Morris and Joe Craddock are morons. But now you sit here today with the best wide receiver, not just in the SEC, but potentially in college football, and you are so happy they got stuck around.
So are you one of these guys that freak out and go nuts at the bar when some dude's talking to your girl?
You need to.
Oh, my Lord.
You need to mark your territory.
Well, I mean, if you ain't built a strong enough bond at that point, I mean, come on now. I mean, you were really worried that he was trying to recruit him right there on the field? I mean,
was
I
I
remember
worried?
you did throw gasoline on that fire. So, but, yeah, I mean, that seems a little insecure. But, hey, Arkansas had a lot of reasons to be insecure back then. So.
Yeah, there's a difference between this macho stud that's making a lot of money and good-looking and highly successful to the ugly stepchild, which Arkansas was 2 years ago, and you were worried about every young man that was walking up hitting on your girl at the bar because you thought she was going to leave you. Luckily, your hot girlfriend, which in this situation is Traylon Burks, he decided to stick around and stay with you, and it's paid off. You've got a married, loving relationship, and you're going to have a kid on the way, as Traylon Burks is probably going to be either the first or second wide receiver drafted in this upcoming NFL draft. But it wasn't easy, right? And going to LSU is never easy, and that was just kind of a microcosm of just that game itself. But it was something that Arkansas fans paid attention to because, Tommy, you weren't paying attention to the game. Outside of K.J. Jefferson starting that day, there wasn't really anything that you enjoyed about the game 2 years ago.
No, and, but a much different day and time for LSU. And it's a much different day and time for Arkansas. And while you're not at the level you'd like to be, where like LSU was a couple of years ago, you have transformed this program, and you got work to do, but you can see the blueprint. You can see the trend line heading in the right direction, and it is guys like Traylon Burks and now K.J. Jefferson that have stepped up to really build what I think in a few seasons is going to be a team that in a program that can be second, third, fourth, maybe traditionally or perennially in this division.
Yeah, and he is such a vital cog to how this season has gone. You think about last week, how many times he was utilized. I think he had 125 total yards on the day, passing, throwing, catching. The guy can do it all, man. He is just an outstanding rushing. He's just an outstanding talent, and there's a reason. Like Clay always, when we have conversations, he's going to be joining us later on. He reminds me that Arkansas football isn't just 20 years old, which I have a pretty good understanding of 20 years of Arkansas football since I've been about 5 or 6 years old. But he takes me back, hey, you didn't watch this guy, or you don't know enough this guy. But Clay's about as high on Traylon Burks as he is in anyone on this football team, based on just what he's done, how talented he is, 6'3", 235, hands as big as frying pans. The dude's just a stud, and you're happy he decided to go to his in-state school at the University of Arkansas.
Yeah, and that was a risk for him when he made that decision. But I think being a Razorback's important, following kind of that Warren tradition. And I'm interested in seeing how the rest of this season plays out. And like you said, enjoy these last few games. Whether or not he plays in a bowl game remains to be seen. That's become a growing trend that top prospects don't, because in games that don't really ultimately have a bearing on the college football playoff or a New Year's Day 6 type game, a lot of those guys will sit. I don't know if Burks will play or not, but he's that caliber of player where it would make sense to at least have a reasonable conversation. It took a risk for him to come here, and I think it's going to ultimately pay off. And he's one of the guys we'll look back on if things work out and you can get this thing back to winning 9 or 10 games and being respectable, being a top 15 program, more years than not. He's going to be one of the guys you credit for building that foundation.
Tommy, Greg and Mulberry reminds us that Ed Ogeron has no problem recruiting active players since he hit on a married woman at a gas station.
That's a good point.
It's a good point, Greg, this morning. So I'm just happy to have watched this young man. And, again, soak up all you can in these last 3 regular season games and the bowl game, because he's not going to be donning an Arkansas Razorback uniform, playing at least. He'll come back. He'll do the wave like Steve Atwater did this this past weekend. But unless something miraculous and crazy happens, this guy is not going to be suiting up for your next season.
And it should be like Moses Moody. No one begrudged or felt like, man, Moses Moody's really messing up here, not coming back for it. Everyone celebrated Moses Moody as a basketball player and went on to be a lottery pick. Now, I don't know, you got to be in the first round, the first 2 rounds. I don't know where you got to go to say absolutely the right decision, but you should at some point celebrate and be happy it happened. I think he's that kind of player. He may not be a top 15 in the draft guy, but and that remains to be seen. Maybe he will, but you should feel about Traylon Burks like you did about Moses Moody.
Now, I think you brought it up. It's going to be really hard for him to catch Kobe Hamilton's. I think Kobe had 1,300 yards in the 2012 season, if I remember that statistic correctly. But he's gonna, I think, bust 1,000 with 4 games remaining through regular season 1 bowl. He's at 799 right now. I think he has 8 touchdowns receiving on the year, and that number I think is only going to go up because he has shown outside of the Georgia game where the entire offense looked inept, he has shown that he can do it against some of the best talent the SEC in college football. And with LSU today, we'll see how their defense plays. With Alabama, we know how tough that defense is, even though it's not as tough as it has been in years past, and he should have an absolute field day like he did last season against the Missouri Tigers.
Well, we brought this up before, and you're right. It's 1,335 yards. Kobe Hamilton with the single season largest receiving yards in a season. But there's only been 3 Razorbacks ever to eclipse 1,000 yards in a year. That's Kobe, that's Jarius Wright, and Anthony Lucas. So you could be in a real rare group of Razorback wide receivers that had 1,000 yards in a year, and you're doing it in an offense where it's been run first with your quarterbacks and your running backs this year. So, yes, we'll see what kind of numbers he puts up these last 3 games, and I think that's something that this coaching staff, Kendall Briles, Kenny Guyton, they want to go after that number because that helps recruiting. Hey, you can come to Arkansas and be 1,000-yard receiver in a season.
Yeah, and no disrespect to what KJ Jefferson has been this year because he's been awesome, but it's been more of his running attack. Tommy, that's Clint Sterner, Ryan Mallon, and Tyler Wilson that were throwing the balls to those fellas, to Anthony Lucas, to Kobe, and to Jarius. So that's pretty special in itself, the quarterbacks that those 3 individuals were getting a chance to play with. And Traylon, I mean, and the other guys have wide receivers. They haven't been – it's not like they've been bad this year, but there's been some drops here and there. Jarius was playing alongside Kobe. He was playing alongside Joe and alongside Greg, Chris Gregg, DJ Williams. That's a Mackey Award winner. And then for Anthony Lucas, not as talented or the surrounding cast as him, but he still had guys like Richard Smith. He still had guys like I think George Wilson was a mix and match. I'm getting my years mixed up. But Tommy, the surrounding cast that you could argue were better on those teams than what Traylon has, at least at the wide receiver position with him.
Yeah, and so I mean. Grab something here. I want to compare something. Is like Kobe Hamilton had 90 catches that year. Let me pull this stat sheet up here real quick because I want to compare. You may know off the top of your head the number of catches that he's had in a year. I got it right here. Well, I said I did. It's on this page right. All right, Traylon Burks has caught 47 balls this year for 780. So, I mean, he's caught half as many. He's got 3 games to go, but that's half as many as Kobe Hamilton had when he caught 90 catches for that 1,335. So,
yeah, Traylon, we've seen Pro Football
back in 2012
focus statistics on Traylon and his yards after the catch. It's top 5, top 3, number 1 in most of these categories, not just against SEC players, but in the country. He's just a beast.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to. Traylon Burks out of Warren, Arkansas is a stud, and you're happy to have him this season. And as Tommy brought up earlier with Moses Moody, which I think is a great comparison, football to basketball, it's kind of hard to do, but I think that's a good one. You're just happy that he became a Razorback. You're happy because him and Moses, they both took chances, right? Moses comes into a team after really only seeing half a year or a year of muss, and he doesn't know what to expect, but he trusted Eric Musselman and his staff to get him where he wanted to be. Ends up being a lottery pick for the Golden State Warriors. The team gets all the way to the Elite Eight. And Traylon, while he trusted Chad Morris, he trusted Sam Pittman to stay on. So you got to remember, you got to re-recruit kids nowadays.
Yep, transfer portals change that.
New coach comes in, these kids can bolt, and now with this new waiver rule that you don't have to sit out a year. I mean, Traylon could have left, and give props to the young man for sticking with it, staying as a Razorback, because it is Arkansas. It is a mutually beneficial relationship, but I would say that Arkansas has definitely benefited a little bit more than Traylon has with this football team.
And you not only do you not have to sit in most, you also don't have to get the school's permission on where you want to go. That's the other big change. That's, all right, we'll let you leave, but you're not going to any school in our conference. Well, I mean, coach doesn't have any say over that any longer. So that's another huge deal as well. So
877-377-6963. Coming back into Arkansas game day, we will get into our Bud Light scoreboard update. I saw Baylor. I don't know what the score is now, but I did watch Baylor throw a touchdown. Gary Bohannon again out of Earl, Arkansas, found it's either Tyrell or Tyquell Thornton in the back of the end zone. A great route. And we'll update you again live from Randall Ford, 5500 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith.
You're listening to Arkansas Game Day live at Randall Ford, brought to you by Bud Light.
Two of the best seasons are in November, football season and hunting season. Take TV on the go no matter where you're at with a Playmaker from World of Wireless.
With those two great things, two great events happening in fall, you need one more great thing, and that's the Playmaker. It's the all-new Playmaker. It's the size of a cooler. Get all your channels. So you can get football. You can also wake up and watch your hunting shows if you didn't get one that day. But you can sit around camp all weekend, deer camp all weekend, fishing weekend, and watch all your favorite movies, all your favorite football games, all your favorite shows if the hunting's not that good.
Plus, you can use it the rest of the year, whether you're going to the lake, your second home, anywhere you want to take TV on the go, you take the Playmaker along.
Essentially with that, you can have two locations with one account. So don't waste money on cable at home. Switch to Dish, get the Playmaker, have TV service in two places, especially at your tailgate or your hunting deer camp.
All right, take the Playmaker to deer camp or the tailgate this year with World of Wireless and ask about the Duo, where you can power two different TVs.
And we rent them also for your deer camp.
877-305-DISH for WOW World of Wireless.
It's time to order your Thanksgiving turkey, and the place to call is Bruce Terry Drive-In. Get your smoked turkey order in by November the 15th. Bruce Terry Drive-In and Catering has been serving the River Valley since 1961 with some of the best burgers, barbecue, and catfish you ever put in your mouth. Daily specials Monday through Friday till 8 p.m. and Saturday till 3 p.m. Visit Bruce Terry at 1102 Fort Street in Barling or call in your order at 452-8171 and follow them on Facebook or Instagram.
I have so many things that need to be done around the house, like fixing the gate on my fence, painting the front door, and that's just a start. I'm not the best DIY person or even have enough time if I were.
Call the experienced crew at Top Notch Roofing and Construction.
Well, isn't that...
I know what you're going to say, but Top Notch does it all. They service both commercial and residential clients with roofing, siding, windows, gutters, fencing, and remodeling, but they also have a crew that specializes in those honeydew jobs piling up at home.
Thanks, man. I'm calling Top Notch Roofing today.
Top Notch. Everything from roofing to honeydews. Call them today.
Family first. My dad used to tell us that all the time. But family first wasn't just something he'd say to us. It was how he lived every day of his life. And it's how I try to live mine, too.
At Shelter Insurance, our agents are dedicated to helping provide personalized auto, home, and life protection that puts your family first.
Ask Shelter agents Brandon Zimmerman or Chris Dooley about a free insurance review.
For 46 years, we've guaranteed you're going to get the best deal and the best value at Phil Wright Autoplex. Come pick out your Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, or Toyota. Come see why we're selling more cars than ever before. Phil Wright Autoplex, X84, just off 540, Russellville. Or shop us online at PhilWright.com. For 46 years, we've guaranteed you're going to get the best deal and the best value at Phil Wright Autoplex. Come pick out your Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, or Toyota. Come see why we're selling more cars than ever before. Phil Wright Autoplex, X84, just off 540, Russellville. Or shop us online at PhilWright.com.
Need a reason to smile? River Valley Smile Center can give you one. We are a comprehensive dental practice located in the heart of Fort Smith. From cosmetic dentistry to orthodontics, implants to sedation, we have everything you need for a brighter, healthier smile. Find out why we've been voted the River Valley's best of the best winner 4 years in a row by giving us a call at 479-646-0706. That's 479-646-0706.
For more than 80 years, Forest Grin Inc. has been building the foundations of the River Valley and beyond. Forest Grin, a destination point for men and women with a drive toward excellence, is now hiring experienced concrete finishers and heavy equipment operators. Apply now from any mobile device at forestgrininc.com. Forest Grin is a heritage company and a premier employer. Don't miss this opportunity to become part of the Forest Grin legacy. Apply now from any device anywhere at forestgrininc.com. Forest Grin Incorporated is an equal opportunity employer.
ESPN 95.3.
You're listening to Arkansas Game Day live at Randall Ford, brought to you by Bud Light.
It's a good snap. The kick is on the way. It's a line drive. He missed it. He missed it. Arkansas wins. He missed it to the left, and the Razorbacks have won it.
Call or text the program at 877-377-6963.
All right, some games to get into live from Randall Ford, 5500 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. Really the biggest one, not necessarily in the SEC, but that's going on right now, Tommy, is the Baylor Bears hosting the Oklahoma Sooners. And last I saw, I walked over to the bathroom, and Baylor had just scored a touchdown. It's halftime right now, and it's tied up in Waco, 7-7.
Yeah, Baylor got down the field through a touchdown pass in the back left corner of the end zone. Bohannon's having a pretty good game. It's going to be a fun second half to watch this unwind between the Sooners and the Bears. Huge game nationally, like you said. And we were talking earlier, biggest game in the Big 12 is at 11 a.m. But, yeah, it is halftime right now at McLean Stadium.
Yeah. Tommy, I was telling our buddy Jeremy Tissington over here at Randall Ford. So I figured out, and I've told my father this, my uncle this, both Baylor alums, I am 0-4 at Baylor games. I'm 0-2 in Stillwater and 0-1 in Stillwater and 0-3 in Waco. All three losses come at the hands of Oklahoma schools, 3 Sooners, 1 Cowboy. And my uncle said that I am not allowed to come anywhere near Waco this weekend. And my roommate, who's a diehard Oklahoma fan, was going to pay me my ticket and my way down there to jinx the Baylor Bears. But we'll see if they can end up holding it down. 2 years ago, Baylor was up 28-3 against Jalen Hurts and company, and Oklahoma came storming back and ended up winning that football game.
I mean, earlier this year we sent you to Georgia. Arkansas loses there. You go see the Chiefs play. The Chiefs lose there. I mean, I'm wondering if there's not a link here.
No.
None of that's all. That's fact. You went to Georgia, Arkansas lost. You went to the Chiefs game, they lost.
Yeah,
I mean, all of those are facts.
Last year went
opinion.
to Arkansas, went to Nashville, watched Arkansas beat Vanderbilt. Also went to Baton Rouge and watched them defeat LSU for the first time since they've joined the SEC. I think in baseball.
That has nothing to do with football.
You're just talking about football related. Well, the plan is to go to Auburn next year, so
I don't know. We might have to visit about that.
I'd like to check out Toomer's Corner and get some of that lemonade and maybe poison one of the Toomer trees. I'm only joking. Harvey Updike already did that. I would never, ever consider doing that to an opposing school and what they cherish and hold the most. All right, other games today. Michigan has overtaken Penn State a little bit, now up 7-3 in Happy Valley. Now, Tommy, Penn State still has a lot to say about how this Big Ten state plays out. I'm going to double-check their schedule next week, but I think they have Michigan State. Yeah, they got Michigan State in East Lansing to close out their season. So while Penn State isn't going to be going to the college football playoff, they still got a lot to say how the Big Ten shakes out.
Oh, no, they can be the spoiler. 7-3, like you said, approaching halftime, and if Michigan loses today, they're out with two losses. You're right. Penn State with 3 losses, not going to sniff, but could still maybe, I guess, being a New Year's Day 6. I guess there's a path for that. I don't know, but yeah, they could certainly have a lot of say about teams that won't be in the college football playoff.
Wisconsin up big, 21-0 on Northwestern. Alabama is starting to rout New Mexico State 42-3. But the game you've been paying attention to during breaks, Tommy, Auburn is up big right now on Mississippi State and Jordan-Hare.
Yeah, 28-3 right now, and it's just been all Auburn right now. You're looking at pulling up some of the stats here. Bo Nix, 12 of 13 passing, 162 yards, and a couple of touchdowns in today's game. They have been running it as well, and so it's been all Auburn and Bo Nix to this point. Johnson's got 57 yards and a carry, and Tank Bigsby, 10 carries, 47 yards, and a touchdown as well.
Tommy, you're going to have to help me with this. I hope my eyes are deceiving me, or I kind of hope they're not. Sanford, according to my Yahoo Sports app, is up 42-28 on Florida. Is that correct in the first half?
Hang on, I'm on the top 25 board. You will not find a Florida football score in the top 25. Yeah. So according to it
yeah. Is that right? Are you seeing that too?
Sanford 42, Florida 28.
Now listen, I'm going to be highly inebriated tonight, but I thought I was highly inebriated as it stands right now when I saw that score.
Dun.
Florida, Tommy, Florida. They are 37.5-point favorites against Sanford at home in the Swamp in Ben Hill Griffin
We laugh
Stadium.
because we care, Gator fans.
Golly, 42-28. The Gators 37.5-point favorites heading into this one.
What is this cat's name? Is Liam Welch. You know who Liam Welch is?
See, the quarterback for Sanford.
He's the quarterback for Sanford. He's 18 of 28 for 298, and we're not to halftime yet.
They might fire him at half. Sanford?
God almighty.
Holy cow. Well,
Some receiver whose last name is Vice. I'm not even going to click on it. It's M. We'll call him Mike. I don't know if that's right or not. I guess I can click on it. But 3 catches, 97-yard. Michael, I was right. Michael Vice. Yeah, he's got nearly a hundo before halftime and a touchdown on 3 catches. I got another guy named Washington, 7 catches, 82 yards, as Sanford is torching Florida right now before halftime.
And that is how you wrap up a Bud Light Seltzer scoreboard update. Now, Tommy, I would assume that a bunch of Gator fans will be drowning their sorrows in Bud Light after they lose to Sanford. Go Sanford. I do not feel sorry for Dan Mullen. I like Emory Jones, but I don't feel sorry for them at all down there in Gatesville. I think my buddy Ben Murphy, who does TV in Jacksonville, is a graduate, diehard Florida Gators fan. I would assume that his television broadcast is going to be potentially the worst he's ever had tonight, Tommy, for his Jacksonville television station because of how frustrated and irritated he's going to be on how this game plays out today.
All right, Clemson's pulled ahead of UConn in case just looking at some other scores we could laugh at, 23-7, so that one's kind of off the radar right now. Mississippi State just scored a moment ago. It's now 28-10 down on the Plains. And that's kind of all the and Alabama, in case you want to know, is up 42-3 on New Mexico State, almost to halftime.
Yeah, so. kind of laughers for the most part, but the good laugher with Florida and Sanford.
Yeah, so really kind of the game to watch right now, kids, is Baylor, Oklahoma, 7-7 at the half. So and Penn State, Michigan too. I mean, but I think really the premier game is 2 top 15 teams with Baylor and Oklahoma.
Yeah, there's some
Bears.
There's some good games on today, and I know my dad is.
Yeah, just not right now. I'm just saying, just right now, what's good to watch. So.
Yeah, I know my dad is glued into the television. My dad is a very level-headed, mild-mannered man. There's only 2 things I've really seen him get frustrated at. It's Baylor athletics and USA Today or U.S. soccer. Those are the only things that he jumps out or gets overly extravagant and excited about, and it's very entertaining because most time you just see him sitting in his lazy boy, taking a nap or snoozing. They'll watch Hawaii Five-0, Law and Order, 10,000 or however many episodes there are, and various things. But that's the only other thing he'll jump up and down or do stuff. It's very entertaining to watch my father around Baylor athletics and U.S. soccer.
I can only imagine. My dad went through several remotes. Him and the TV remote and the fireplace had some battles when I was a kid. But so we're all big Purdue fans at 2:30, right? They're playing Ohio State. Just trying to figure out who else we can root for. We're going to root for UT San Antonio, right, against Southern Miss.
Yeah,
they should win that one easily. Southern Miss 1-8. Come on,
go Vols today as well.
That
They'll
line
take
is
on
32.5, and
yeah.
Well, I mean, is that what you really want?
Yes.
Okay.
I want there to be chaos heading up to the rankings of college football. And
okay, here's one. I got to hear what Ty Richardson wants in this game. A&M at Ole Miss tonight, 11 versus 15. A&M favored by 2.5.
This is going to hurt my soul, but I actually want A&M to win this football game. And the rationale.
You hate both of these programs.
I don't like
either. Number 1 and 1A on your list in this division.
My thoughts, Tommy, are because that A&M win would look. I mean, if A&M somehow got to the SEC championship, which is still a long shot with Alabama, and how that their road. Not to the SEC chip, their road away.
Right.
But that win looks good. It's like we were talking about Texas. Texas win, it's not as big of a deal. They're 4-5 right now. I don't know who they play today, but man, that AM win, if they keep winning.
Wonder who plays who today? Was your question?
Who's Texas play today?
Oh, I don't know. I thought okay.
So
I'll find out for you.
My thought process is that win over Texas A&M. Texas plays Kansas. They host them in Austin today. That win over Texas.
Jayhawks.
Yeah, go Hawks. That win over Texas A&M looks better and better as the Aggies continue to prevail, but it's not going to be easy tonight. I mean, I think we were talking about this earlier. I think Lane Kiffin was the guest picker for College Game Day, or at least they had him on to discuss it. He picked Tennessee over Georgia, which I had to laugh at. But the Grove's going to be charged up, and maybe some fans will actually make their way into Vaught Hemingway for the game tonight.
So if you like chaos, and I know you don't want a path for for A&M, but if A&M wins this game and then somehow Auburn beats Bama, I mean you know that is the first few big dominoes have to fall for a line for A&M to get to the championship game, because that would give at least 2 losses for both A&M and Bama, and they have the tiebreaker. So Ole Miss with 2 losses does not have the tiebreaker against Bama, obviously. So this is a big game from the regards, and I guess if you're a Bama fan, you're rooting hard for A&M tonight.
Tommy,
for Ole Miss tonight.
A&M, as we close out this conversation, A&M might have the second-best defense in the league behind Georgia. They've been playing great as of late. Now, you can definitely throw Alabama in the mix. You always have to with Nick Saban and his squad. But there is a legitimate argument and conversation surrounding the Aggies as the second-best defense in this league behind Georgia. And I'd be curious to see how those teams would match up in the SEC championship, even though I know Alabama is probably going to be there. All right, we've still got 45 more minutes left of Arkansas Game Day. Again, a unique situation today with Arkansas basketball tipping off at 2. They'll have their pregame starting at 1:30. So coming up, I do want to play this Chuck Barrett highlight coming up, and Clay Henry, the publisher of Hogs Illustrated, I think is going to join us to kick off the 1 o'clock hour here on Arkansas Game Day, live from Randall Ford, 5500 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith.
You're listening to Arkansas Game Day live at Randall Ford, brought to you by Bud Light.
You've trained for this all year. Endless hours of cardio, conditioning, and weights. And now you are ready. Ready to trek back to your seat from the concession stand. Through the lines, lost fans, and that mascot who wants you to do a little dancey dance, all without spilling a drop of your ice-cold Bud Light. Welcome back to football, sports fans.
The Game Day Lodge in Branson is the perfect place for corporate retreats, golf trips, and team-building activities. Companies often kick off the new year with planning or goal-setting retreats, and the perfect place is Game Day Lodge. They still have availability during the weeks for November and December, and Game Day Lodge is decorated for Christmas, so guests can make great family memories. It's the ideal time to book spring golf trips to Branson before the dates fill up. Just search Game Day Lodge on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Airbnb, and VRBO.
This is Arkansas Game Day.
Lock in your price for 2 years and get a free Google Mesh router when you make the move to Dish right now with World of Wireless. Call 877-305-DISH.
Dish and WOW has always given you free gifts to sign up for new service. Get the Hopper system installed for free, free voice remotes, free 3 months of movie channels absolutely free, free 2-year price lock. That's the important thing. Sign up by November 16th. You have about 2 weeks to sign up, get installed, and you'll save for the next 2 years on your TV service with the Hopper 3 system, and we're going to throw in a $150 Google Mesh router absolutely free when you sign up for new service.
And it sure makes automating the home and everything in your home easier to operate with this Google router.
And get 3 TVs in the home, less than $80 installed, but you got to call us now. World of Wireless, 877-305-DISH. Get all the freebies with Dish by November 16th.
And nobody likes when prices go up, and you get a 2-year price guarantee to keep that low price with Dish. 877-305-DISH is the number. That's 877-305-3474 for World of Wireless.
Old Hog Cafe on Phoenix Avenue is now open 11 till 8 Monday through Saturday. Old Hog Cafe has party packs for your watch party, tailgate party, business meetings, or lunch and dinner for the family. You will see a few new items on the menu to go along with the award-winning barbecue and sides. Old Hog Cafe, Phoenix Avenue, offers online ordering at wholehogfortsmith.com, along with curbside and delivery service. Or come see us 11 till 8 Monday through Saturday. Follow Whole Hog Cafe on Facebook and Instagram for specials.
Arkansas Fuel Injection in Fort Smith has been providing quality work for all new and rebuilt diesel pumps and injectors for over 25 years. They are a certified diesel shop with a team of quality technicians that ensure the highest quality workmanship and warranties all their work. They are open Monday through Friday 8 to 5 and has emergency service available 24 hours a day. For all your diesel pump, fuel injection, and parts needs, stop by Arkansas Fuel Injection, 6300 South 29th Street, Fort Smith. Call them today at 1-800-817-7709. Arkansas Fuel Injection.
Late breaking news. Central Hydraulics has teamed up with Wacker Newson to meet your ever-growing equipment needs. Wacker Newson offers loaders, excavators, skid steers, telehandlers, and more. Central Hydraulics is also your Gates Hydraulic Hose Center. Stop by today at 6104 Highway 271 South in Fort Smith. Central Hydraulics, helping you move the world.
Law's Drugstore in Fort Smith has COVID vaccinations available today for you and your family. Law's Drugstore has the Pfizer vaccine for ages 12 and up. The vaccine is safe and effective in preventing severe cases of COVID. Just call 452-6116 to schedule your appointment or stop by Law's Drugstore at 6802 Rogers Avenue behind Outback Steakhouse. Law's Drugstore, open 6 days a week to safely care for you and your family. Call them now, 452-6116.
At Alliance Motors, we pride ourselves on listening to the needs of our customers. Everything we do is designed to make your car buying experience as easy and enjoyable as possible. Visit us at our 2 locations in Greenwood, 900 East Center or 1305 West Center today. At Alliance Motors, customer satisfaction is our highest priority. Visit us today and see for yourself the difference, or visit us online at alliance-motors.com. Alliance Motors in Greenwood.
Crabtree RV Center, leading the River Valley in sales and service for over 70 years. Founded in 1950, Crabtree RV Center has grown into one of the largest family-owned and operated RV dealerships in Northwest Arkansas, located on 17 acres, including a 26,000 square foot indoor showroom. Crabtree RV Center has everything you need, all in one convenient location. Crabtree RV Center in Alma, Arkansas, making your family's dreams come true.
ESPN 95.3.
You're listening to Arkansas Game Day live at Randall Ford, brought to you by Bud Light.
It's a good snap. The kick is on the way. It's a line drive. He missed it. He missed it. Arkansas wins. He missed it to the left, and the Razorbacks have won it.
Call or text the program at 877-377-6963.
Clay Henry, the publisher of Hogs Illustrated, is going to join us in about 10 or so minutes. We'll get his thoughts, his final thoughts on the Arkansas LSU game later on in Baton Rouge. And at some point in time, Tommy, we're going to have to make our way down there, and hopefully we won't get a whiskey bottle thrown in our head like Clay did. But that is an experience I've been told by several people who have gone. I've got a good friend that lives currently in Baton Rouge. He's a diehard Razorback fan. That there's not much like Death Valley on a Saturday night.
Well, at least maybe they'll throw a full one, so maybe we can catch it and we'd have something to drink.
Drink some of it.
Exactly. Wear a hard hat or wear a football helmet down there.
Do you think they ever drink Crown Royal Peach, Crown Royal Apple, Crown Royal?
No. They don't.
Regular.
They don't waste time with that flavored whiskey stuff.
They just drink it regular.
Yeah.
Oh.
Put hair on your chest.
Yeah, that was actually oddly enough, that was the first the first whiskey I've ever had in my entire life was Crown Royal. So that was way back.
I don't know what the number one selling whiskey is. That's got to be it. I mean, right?
Yeah, I would think it's predominantly.
What about that purple bag? You know.
It just it fits. It fits the brand of LSU, and it fits it overall. So I'm excited about this game. I'm also excited. We talked a little earlier about Arkansas basketball, but Gardner Webb, I'm going to be listening to it, Tommy, on my drive later on when I'm heading up to Northwest Arkansas. I'm excited to see how this Arkansas basketball team plays because I was watching SEC basketball last night, and it's cool. It's unique to have both an Arkansas conference football game and a basketball game on the same day. I love these type of days that we get crossover.
Yeah, it doesn't happen, when you have a home game, but it's a good time. I wish the game would have been a little bit earlier so we could have full radio coverage of both for you. But we're going to stay with basketball until 3:30, and that's when the Learfield football pregame show begins. So hopefully Arkansas has it well in hand by 3:30, and then we'll have Razorback coverage beginning here for you in less than an hour with basketball coming up in about 40 minutes, and then football all the way till tonight. Then Ruskin and Zach will have our post-game show. So we got you locked in right here on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com.
The last time you won in Death Valley was 2015 under Brett Bielema, but the most memorable Death Valley game came back in 2007. And Chuck Barrett, the voice of the Arkansas Razorbacks, was kind enough to send Tommy the call yesterday back in 2007. What a call it was. What a day it was for Razorback Athletics. You got the stuff with Les Miles potentially going to Michigan. You got him mispronouncing Arkansas, saying Arkansas, and that riled some people up. No one gave you a chance heading into that game. That people thought LSU's dream at a national championship was burned in rubble, and we know how that game ended. But if you remember the call that day, Matero Richardson back of the end zone, here was Chuck Barrett's call of that play, which helped Arkansas win the football game.
Shotgun formation into the end zone. The pass is intercepted. Arkansas wins the ball game. Intercepted in the end zone. The Razorbacks have beaten the #1 team in the country.
Man, the #1 team in the country. Tommy, you don't get to say that often, especially when it's your rival. You get to take home a big old trophy. And we mentioned this yesterday. Andrew Hutchinson Hogbeat let me know about this. There's only 2 players on this roster that have ever beaten LSU, and that's Markel Utze and Trey Williams, 2 Missouri guys. Now Arkansas Razor. There's not a single Razorback player that's got a chance to hoist that Golden Boot trophy coming off the heels of a victory against LSU.
So you know what else was notable about that call and that moment, and what Chuck, in Chuck's description of that?
I'd have to go back. You want to play it one more time, see if I can pick it up?
No, I mean, it's not something from the call. I'm just noting that season, and we know that what unfolded. That was Chuck's first season as the play-by-play announcer was 07. So you think about, the number of years starting to stack up for Chuckles there a little bit. So that was the first season in 07 when he took over the helm.
Yeah.
And is also that would have been the final play for Houston Nutt as head coach at Arkansas.
Yeah, because was it Reggie Herring that took over his interim?
He took over his interim for the Cotton Bowl against Missouri. Petrino was announced, 10 days later or whatever it was, and then off we went. So, a lot of things happened, but 2007, we kind of lose track of time sometimes about how long our announcers have been around. Chuck's been with it for a while.
Yeah, because unfortunately
15 years now.
Yeah,
15 seasons.
The July before in 2006, we had the tragedy with Paul Eels. Mike Nail took over that season. Then Chuck has been doing a great job since 2007. I know he's going to be hyped up. He's trying to kind of, in a sense, bring some of those memories together, like 2015, 2007, and put them in the broadcast tonight. Because you want to go into that, and you got a great chance tonight, folks. You have a great opportunity ahead, as we do. 30 more minutes, a bonus 30 minutes of Arkansas Game Day live from Randall Ford, 5500 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith.
Randall Ford, 5500 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith is a place to be if you're looking for quality, certified, pre-owned vehicles. And when we're talking trucks, we're talking Randall Ford. Whether you're wanting one that's one of the Leadfoot Grays, we have those. Raptors, oh yeah, we have those. If you're looking for the Venom R, they're built specially for Randall Ford. I have a gorgeous lifted Venom R sitting right here by me. So come by and check out all the trucks, all the selection today at 5500 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith at Randall Ford.
You've trained for this all year. Endless hours of cardio, conditioning, and weights. And now you are ready. Ready to trek back to your seat from the concession stand. Through the lines, lost fans, and that mascot who wants you to do a little dancey dance, all without spilling a drop of your ice-cold Bud Light. Welcome back to football, sports fans.
Messy leaks, stopped up toilets and sinks, all of these can be a nightmare. This is Emily with Mr. Rooter Plumbing in Fort Smith. Did you know that when you call Mr. Rooter, you get real-time tracking so you know exactly when to expect us? We know you're busy, so we send a reminder, so scheduling with us is convenient. When you need plumbing, call Mr. Rooter in Fort Smith or book online at mrrooter.com. We're your neighborly company.
Links at Chaffee Crossing, located in Fort Smith, has the best barbecue in the River Valley, hands down. Check out Links at Chaffee Crossing's Facebook page for their daily specials and live music schedule. Links at Chaffee Crossing has dine-in or patio dining with a full view of the golf course. Also, stop by their full bar for a cold beer or a cocktail. Need a place to watch the Hog games? Links at Chaffee Crossing has that too. Get linked up at Links at Chaffee Crossing, 11707 Custard Boulevard in Fort Smith.
The The best TV experience in the nation is available locally with personal service from Wild World of Wireless, your neighborhood professional Dish authorized retailer. Dish has the Hopper 3, the most advanced DVR, and delivers a premium viewing experience. Tired of running out of DVR space? With the Hopper 3, you can record up to 2,000 hours of your favorite programming and watch your very own favorite channels and DVR recordings anywhere you go on your phone or tablet. Call now, Wild World of Wireless at 877-305-DISH for more details, or stop by our location at the corner of Phoenix and Rogers, or visit us online at shopwownow.com.
Monthly equipment fees and other restrictions apply. Recording hours vary. 2,000 hours based on SD programming. Remote viewing requires internet connection and compatible mobile device.
Hi, this is Lindsay White with White Office Machines. For over 90 years, my family's been serving the greater Fort Smith region with the image industry's newest technologies, as well as providing superior customer service through long-term business relationships. As the area's only authorized Kyocera document solutions dealer, White Office Machines provides the best value with high-speed copiers and the latest multifunction printers. Stop by our office in downtown Fort Smith or in Russellville. Follow us on Facebook or go to whiteoffice.com.
White Office Machines since 1929.
Needing your roof repaired? Ramos Roofing is a local company that has over 25 years of experience, specializing in your residential or commercial roofing needs in the Oklahoma area. Ramos Roofing, a company you can trust, offering discounts to senior citizens, law enforcement, or healthcare workers, and assists in your insurance claims. Ramos Roofing, standing behind their work so you can stand under it. Call 479-420-9903. That's 420-9903. Ramos Roofing, working with you to build a better home.
Are you looking for a great deal on a previously owned vehicle but want to avoid high-pressure sales? If so, you need to visit Edwards Auto Sales in Roland. For over 31 years, Ernie Edwards and his staff have helped folks from Arkansas and Oklahoma River Valley buy a quality vehicle and offer a buy here, pay here in-house financing program as part of their services. Some restrictions may apply. Come visit Edwards Auto Center, 3 miles west of the Garrison Bridge, the first car dealer on your right, or log on at edwardsautoSalesInc.com.
Growing up, my parents always encouraged me to do what's right, even if it wasn't easy. I'd always hear my mother's voice say, "Do the right thing." That stuck with me. Every day, just do the right thing. That's it. The rest takes care of itself.
At Shelter Insurance, we believe in doing the right thing for our customers and our communities.
Ask Wade Gilkey in Fort Smith about Shelter's home insurance. What do you get when you pull into Tony's Tire Service? You get the best selection of tires for any car, truck, or commercial vehicle. Tony's Tire Service has Cooper tires and is ready to serve you to get you back on the road safely. They'll also get your vehicle fixed with brake replacements, plus an alignment with the best repair guy in the area. Tony's Tire Service has been serving the River Valley for over 34 years. Come let our guys replace your tires with Cooper tires and our service department to make sure the vehicle has the best brakes and alignments. Tony's Tire Service, 7200 South 28th Street in Fort Smith. Service you can depend on.
KERX, Paris, Fort Smith.
2 seconds, 1 second, he lets fly with a shot.
From the Busch Light Studios, this is ESPN 95.3.
This is Arkansas Game Day live at Randall Ford, 5500 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith.
Jefferson in the gun, gets the snap. Here they come, slant over the middle, complete, Burks, touchdown Arkansas!
Arkansas Game Day is brought to you by Bud Light, the world's favorite light beer.
Jefferson to Johnson, up the middle, touchdown Arkansas!
Call or text the program at 877-377-6963.
We are live at Randall Ford, 5500 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith on Arkansas Game Day. A bonus 30 minutes with the Arkansas basketball game starting in an hour. They'll have their Learfield pregame coverage beginning at 1:30. And so we've got you for the next 30 minutes as it is Arkansas Game Day presented by Bud Light. The publisher of Hogs Illustrated, Clay Henry, now kind enough to join us down in somewhere in Louisiana. Clay, have you made it to Baton Rouge yet, or are you in another Cajun redneck place down there?
Cajun redneck.
Isn't that synonymous? I thought that was the same thing, right?
They call it coon something. I'm not going to say that word on the air. But yeah, I mean, that's I'm in Baton Rouge Parish, but I'm not quite in Baton Rouge. I'm between
Can you smell the crawfish?
St. Francisville in what?
Can you smell the crawfish yet?
I've seen some gas station advertisements that I could get some different things.
Mm-hmm.
Some of those different things, I'm not sure what's in them.
Mm-hmm. Well, you may have ran over a
kind
few
of
of the
sausages.
Yeah. You may have ran over a few of the things that may go in some of the things they serve down there.
Yeah. I actually had Mexican food last night, so
Interesting.
I didn't do the local stuff. I did something a little south of local.
Now I want to ask both of y'all this. I was going to wait till Clay got on. I woke up this morning and about 6:30, so I got to slip in for my usual 4:15, and I woke up and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I heard this song before, but until I got down to Baton Rouge this last year, Garth Brooks' Call 'Em Baton Rouge song. I blared that this morning. Is that acceptable? Because I know that's more of an LSU song, but Arkansas is playing in Baton Rouge. Is that okay for me to do that, guys?
There's never a bad time to play Garth Brooks. Yeah.
Yeah, Garth Brooks is good, and they'll play that in the stadium tonight. He's done concerts in Tiger Stadium, and as have many others. But yeah, I mean, you can play that. You can play some Zydeco. You can play, Walking to New Orleans, Fats Domino. You can play all that stuff. It's all good.
Clay, when you look at this visiting venue, and I know you've got a chance to go to some, or not some, all. I've gotten a chance to go to some. For what I've been told, this is one of the coolest SEC venues, not just SEC venues, but in college football. What else should Arkansas fans know about the day as they're traveling down to Baton Rouge?
Well, it's kind of a mixed bag. There'll be some people at the tailgate that just kind of just wave you over and want to share what they've got, and it'll be good. And then there's some that'll taunt you, and if you take it in good nature, this is one of the good places to hang out. And it gets a little nasty inside the stadium. I mean, they can dump liquids on you. They can treat you, badly. I mean, but I've always liked it. I've always enjoyed coming down here. I'm never wearing red. I don't dress in red. So, I've been invited to plenty of tailgates through the years. But yeah, and then there's the football side of it. It's you're going to see great talent. You're going to see NFL talent. Through the years, you've seen some of the greatest wide receivers and linebackers that played the game. At LSU, and so that part is entertaining, and you have to understand that you better bring your best. If you're the visiting team, you're not going to win. Arkansas won't win easily, I don't think. Yeah. It'll what's the line, 2.5, something like that. I mean, that's indicative of what kind of game I expect it to be.
Yeah. I think the most interesting thing with LSU is the coaching search and the transition that's pending. I think you're of the opinion they'll go after a sitting head coach and a kind of a brand name, which probably puts that off for a while. I would imagine as you mill around the stadium and talk to other members of the media, that's going to be the focus of conversation at least before kickoff.
Yeah, I mean it's I've heard in the last 24 hours some names that I was surprised to hear that that Lincoln Riley would be, one of the main targets. And, it's just like, you just go around and pick out the guys that, would be the most highly coveted by anybody. And that's who they're going to go after first. They're going to have to say no. And, heck, somebody might say yes, but you might be surprised.
Yeah. You think about,
it's a great job.
Yeah. Why in the world would Lincoln Riley want to leave Norman to go to Baton Rouge? Well, first of all, they've got an SEC roster, and they maybe fill some things in. It's going to be an uphill battle for Oklahoma entering this league to get up to an SEC level. I think they're ahead of Texas, obviously, but the work's cut out for you in Norman. And Baton Rouge is kind of a made ready to move in type situation if you want to use home terms. So, some work needs to be done, some touch-up paint, fix some trim here and there. But the last three head coaches, as we point out often, have won national championships there, and two of them wouldn't have won anywhere else. You want that ring on your finger and that title on your resume, Baton Rouge is a great place to get it done, Clay.
just so much easier to recruit at LSU than it is Oklahoma. And Oklahoma, they get it done in recruiting. They've got to go to Texas. So, I mean, you never know what leads a coach to change. I remember talking to Rick Jones years ago, and he was at Broken Arrow High School. I knew him when he was there. I was in the Tulsa area covering football, and we were friends. And all at once, he's at Greenwood, and I called him like, what's going on, Rick? You just left the biggest school in Oklahoma. And he goes, well, sometimes you just need a new set of problems. I just, okay, that makes as much sense as any.
Yeah, and we saw how it worked out for him at Greenwood.
Tommy,
it was, well, he could coach, yeah.
Tommy, to your point about the three championship coaches, Nick Saban, Les Miles, and Ed Ogeron, they have all done that after Oklahoma won. You got to remember, last Oklahoma national championship was in 2000. That's 20-plus years. LSU's won 3 since then, while the SEC has picked up a little bit in talent and just overall because of Nick Saban. The fact that Ed Ogeron was able to do it while he was there, and Les Miles
they won titles in spite of themselves, I think, is the point most people make. They wouldn't win a title anywhere else, those two.
And Les Miles got one in 2007, got back in 2011. So, like Clay said, recruiting is a big deal. And Clay, let me ask you something. If you're a Lincoln Riley and you're sitting there in Norman right now, and they're in a tough battle right now with the Baylor Bears down in Waco. What is intriguing to you about this LSU job, kind of like you were saying with recruiting, and then what scares the crap out of you if you're Lincoln Riley about the prospect of moving from Norman to Baton Rouge to take that job?
Well, first of all, let's just speak of the obvious. What's going on at Oklahoma, and he had students spying on him at practice, and were you playing the right quarterback? And we're booing your player. I mean, it just was a crazy. It's who knows if he's happy with that situation. First of all, and secondly, when you look at what's the unknown, there's a lot with Oklahoma. You don't really know who you're going to be playing in a couple of years. Maybe you want to wait 2 more years before you play an SEC schedule. So I don't know that they can get him, but I just think they're going to, that was a hot rumor I heard yesterday, and it's going to be, Scott Woodward's going to go after the number 1 guys around, and they're going to have to say no, and Jimbo Fisher is going to have to say no, and is Lane Kiffin the number 3? I don't know. It's that he's going to go after those type guys, and somebody's going to say yes. Now, what you worry about is that there's a huge amount of pressure. It isn't easy to win in the SEC, and the fans at LSU expect you to win national championships. And when you don't, they say, well, why can't you? You've got the best players 100 miles from campus. We expect you to win.
All right,
so,
well, do me a favor today, Clay. If you run into Scott Woodward in the press box, really talk up that, hey, if Chad Morris would have just had 1 more year, he was really close. You really ought to look strongly at Chad Morris. Can you do that for me?
Well, I really didn't want to push one guy. I was going to.
That's our guy. That's the guy we want in Baton Rouge.
Yeah. I was going to say Chad Morris or John L. Yeah.
Maybe he could bring John L. in as the special teams coordinator. All right, today's game, let's focus in on. You've written about the keys. I think running the football and getting inside with the run game is key today. What are some things you'll be looking for in the first quarter?
Well, I think that it starts with Arkansas's defense stopping the run, and I'd be interested to see what it looks like with that offensive line for LSU, because it's patchwork. They've and me, that's where it all starts. Can you block and can you protect? Can you run the ball when you need to? And LSU's got both offensive guards out that played last week, and they lost a tackle early in the year. So it's a patchwork offensive line. And can Arkansas's defensive line, can they get a little more pressure, and can they stop the run? it's week to week in the SEC. It's like, who's got their guys, and don't want to look any further than 1 week. And it's you don't really know what kind of mindset the LSU team is in. And so, just establishing that in the first quarter, what kind of game is it going to be?
Are we going to know by that first quarter? Because this game's been weird over the years, and I think back to how bad Arkansas played initially in 2002 at home in Little Rock, and we know how that game concluded. Do you think this is going to be a game where you have a pretty good idea how it plays out, Clay, after the first quarter?
Yeah, sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. I think that's probably overstating it a little bit, but you can get a pretty good feel who's got the edge. Now, there's always adjustments, and sometimes you think you've got something going in and it doesn't work out, and you have to adjust. And that's what the good coaches do. And the really good ones, they don't take to halftime to make the adjustments. They can do it on the fly. And I think that you'll get a feel whether you can protect your quarterback a little bit, because there'll be somebody's going to throw a wrinkle pretty early, a blitz or so. But yeah, you get a feel.
You got anything else, Tommy?
Well, ought to be fun today. I think special teams is another thing that we got to pay attention to, so we'll watch it all unfold. So get your hard hat on as you head into the press box today. Don't let anybody put a Crown Royal bottle upside your head.
I'll be in a pretty good spot. I'm wearing all black today. There won't be any reason for anybody to think anything other than me. That's an old guy.
Yeah, well, all right. So we'll talk to you next week on Tuesday.
Thanks, guys.
And get your thoughts and full recap. Enjoy the day.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Clay Henry live from Baton Rouge as he's getting ready for it today. 6:30 tonight. We got basketball, Ty, coming up here in 15 minutes or so as Arkansas will play their second game of the year, and we'll have the play-by-play. That's why we're on a little bit early today.
Yeah, it's we got about 15 more minutes here of Arkansas game day. If you got a last chance to hop in on the conversation, voice your opinion. What's going to happen tonight in Death Valley and Baton Rouge when the LSU Tigers take on your Arkansas Razorbacks? One more segment of Arkansas Game Day coming up live from Randall Ford.
You're listening to Arkansas Game Day live at Randall Ford, brought to you by Bud Light.
Back out of Randall Ford, 5500 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. Absolutely loving the cooler weather. And, Billy, as I look over this dealership, you guys have a lot of pre-owned and you have a lot of new vehicles for sale.
Yeah, we got 2 truckloads of new stuff in. We probably got what you want. We got a great selection of pre-owned stuff here on the lot.
I'm digging the fact that not only do you have a lot of pre-owned, but some of the new F-150s that you have. And if someone's looking for something, we're talking vehicles, but if someone's looking for something to play in, you've got a bunch of Jeeps to choose from, too. And I love the fact that it's something people can get out in the woods, have some fun in, and just get away from things for a change.
We just got a beautiful white Rubicon on trade with a hard top, and it's going to be ready to roll in the streets here in just a little bit. We got a great selection of Jeeps. Got a little bit of everything out here today.
All they have to do is just come by and ask for Billy?
Come by and ask for Billy.
There you go. 5500 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. Fourth oldest Ford dealership, my friends, right here in your own backyard. Come see us today at Randall Ford.
This is Arkansas Game Day.
Old Hog Cafe on Phoenix Avenue is now open 11 till 8 Monday through Saturday. Old Hog Cafe has party packs for your watch party, tailgate party, business meetings, or lunch and dinner for the family. You will see a few new items on the menu to go along with the award-winning barbecue and sides. Old Hog Cafe, Phoenix Avenue, offers online ordering at wholehogfortsmith.com, along with curbside and delivery service. Or come see us 11 till 8 Monday through Saturday. Follow Whole Hog Cafe on Facebook and Instagram for specials.
Oh my gourd, folks. Larry Rath here from Rath Auto Resources. This month, I want to say thanks. So I'm on a mission to make car buying easy as pie and help you snag a sweet deal on one of our Rath Road Ready vehicles, each one hand-picked and inspected in our Meineke Car Care Center. This month, you could drive a nicer, newer car and save up to $4,150. That's a lot of dough. So if your old ride is flaky, crusty, burnt, or rusty, don't let it squash your happiness. Trade it for a nicer, newer car now, even if you still owe money, and save up to $4,150. Plus, my For the People approval process makes financing your nicer, newer car easy as pie. Keeping the car you have? Get it ready for winter in our Meineke Car Care Center with half-off brakes and buy 3, get 1 free on all tires. Deals this delicious won't last long, so visit us today at Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online, rathauto.com.
Hey Arkansas fans, this is JD with JD's River Valley Restoration and Detail. We offer full details, paint correction, ceramic coating, and much, much more. There's a reason why we've been voted best 5 years in a row. Stop by 5606 Towson for an estimate or give us a call today at 479-629-7486. Again, that's 629-7486. We're open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. JD's River Valley Restoration, where we're making new relationships one vehicle at a time.
Don't brush off the dentist. They have fillings too. River Valley Smile Center can provide you and your family with comprehensive dental services in a friendly and welcoming setting. From cosmetic dentistry to orthodontics, implants to sedation, we have everything you need for bright and healthy teeth. To schedule an appointment, visit rivervalleysmiles.com or give us a call at 479-646-0706. That's 479-646-0706.
Family first. My dad used to tell us that all the time. But family first wasn't just something he'd say to us. It was how he lived every day of his life. And it's how I try to live mine too.
At Shelter Insurance, our agents are dedicated to helping provide personalized auto, home, and life protection that puts your family first.
Ask Shelter agents Ted McAvoy or Jeff Clark about a free insurance review.
Need a little something to get you through hump day? Swing by Sody's and save 10% on all regular priced wine, cheese, and boar's head meats today. That's right, it's Wine and Cheese Wednesday at Sody's. Experience different at Sody's Wine and Spirits off I-540 on Phoenix Avenue.
Every day is worth celebrating at Uncorked. Cocktails, wine, craft beer, bourbons, and unbelievably great food. Uncorked on Phoenix Avenue next to Sody's.
The Peter Pender Zone of Wave Rural Connect is open. That fiber internet, phone, and TV service you've been hearing so much about is now available for areas south of the Arkansas River, to Coxville, to east of Cecil, and over to Roseville, with amazingly fast internet starting at $49.95 a month. Call 1-833-4WAVE-RC or go online to signup.waveruralconnect.com to get signed up. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities that we serve.
ESPN 95.3.
You're listening to Arkansas Game Day live at Randall Ford, brought to you by Bud Light.
It's a good snap. The kick is on the way. It's a line drive. He missed it. He missed it. Arkansas wins. He missed it to the left, and the Razorbacks have won it.
Call or text the program at 877-377-6963.
Back here at Randall Ford, 5500 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. Now, Tommy, I heard you talking a little bit during the break to yourself. What's going on with that Oklahoma-Baylor game?
Still 10-7. Baylor has the lead. Oklahoma, unfortunately, just feel terrible. They had 4th and 35 a moment ago and punted the ball. Had a great punt, though. They were in the shadow of their own goalpost, got it down inside the 20-yard line to the 18. But an illegal formation on Oklahoma's going to tack 5 on that. So Baylor's going to start just outside their own 20 when play resumes. Up 3.
That's a pretty good punt at the changing the field position.
Yeah,
that
it did.
much.
Flip the field. So.
Pretty
here's the other thing. As they went to break, now they're coming back. Maybe they're going to repunt. Maybe they've changed mind. Spencer Rattler was warming up. So
wow. That would be something if Lincoln Riley elected to do that. And funny enough,
4th and 40 now. They've now opted to repunt.
That was smart for Baylor to
I didn't understand that either.
Dave Aranda to do that.
This one goes inside the 20.
Jeez Louise. I guess the punt's going okay. We'll welcome in Jordan here at Randall Ford, 5500 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith, who I know is hoping that Baylor can pull it out today. Jordan, when you look at you guys out on the lot right now, and you guys are busy, it seems like everyone's stacked up here in the lobby. There's a reason you guys are so busy here today. It's that same thing, man. It's consistency.
Absolutely. It's been awesome. The customers just keep coming in and letting us earn their business. It's been a great thing.
Best of the best in a lot of different categories. That is a big deal around here in the River Valley when people recognize that. And you guys aren't just up for 1 or 2. It seems like you guys are up for 4 and 5 every single year.
We'll just have so many things going on here at the dealership, whether it's the body shop, whether it's parts, service, or sales. We're here to help our customers and make sure they know that they're getting the best service possible.
Now tell us a little bit about this Ford Bronco, because I know a lot of people have been asking about it. And what all does it feature and what all does it detail?
Man, you name it. The Bronco is the ultimate off-road vehicle, from the different base model packages up to the wild track packages, the optional Sasquatch. It's just a lot of fun.
Now you guys are doing something special this month in the month of November, and it really helps out the community around here.
Absolutely. For all those new Ford trucks bought, we're donating turkey to make sure that, hey, people are getting fed.
Oh, you guys are stepping up, not just here helping people afford to get a more affordable vehicle, but also stepping up to help the community around here in the River Valley.
Absolutely. They're a big, they're the reason we've been as successful as we are. It's because the community surrounds us, so we want to make sure we're giving back to them.
Since 1908, man, 4th oldest Ford dealership, not just around here, but entire United States of America.
Absolutely. It's pretty special to get to be a part of that.
Yeah. So are they going to pull it out today? The Bears going to pull it out?
Absolutely. Sick 'em, Ty.
Everyone's listening. Well, Tommy's
We're all
with
on
you.
board with the Baylor Bears today.
There's going to be green and gold or in this state that you've never seen it before. Well, Jordan, I see your green and gold socks on today, so best of luck to you, and we'll see if the Bears can beat the Sooners today.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
All right, that's the game that pretty much everyone has their eye on right now, Tommy. And, again, they'll be keeping their eye on this Texas A&M Ole Miss game in Oxford tonight. I think hopefully people will be more intrigued by the Tennessee-Georgia game today, which I think has potential to be a closer game. I don't know.
I agree.
If it end up will be in that in the fourth quarter. I'm hoping. I'm willing it. I'm hoping it.
Right.
It'll be up right there.
So
but,
I think this will be a close game for 3 quarters. Within the 20. I think Tennessee can keep it to like 14 for a few quarters, make it interesting. But I think eventually the line play of Tennessee just wears them down, and Georgia gets a couple of Georgia's line play wears them down, get a couple late touchdowns, and they win by just over 3 touchdowns.
Now, you've got LSU winning tonight. Is it because of their defensive line? What scares you about this Tigers football team?
Well, they got the injuries, and, Clay kind of went through some of those on the offensive line, and we know about some of the guys out. But I'm just watching them, the way they handled Bama at times up front defensively worries me. Arkansas has to be able to run the ball to win. I think we all agree and know that. And that's what worries me, is how much of the run game can those guys inside take away, because they got 3 really good ones on the inside defensive line.
I know Clay pointed out that Alabama lost their starting center and then moved a guy over, and they did not handle it as well. Luckily enough, unless something crazy's happened, Ricky Stromberg is a go tonight. So, Tommy, I hope they get. I thought that was the closing line, but you're playing Colin Baton Rouge, which is even better. Turn that up a little bit. That's beautiful.
Never a bad time to play with Garth.
No.
I don't care if it is their song.
It's our song today.
Here we go.
Baton Rouge.
Hey, operator. I wonder if he ever made any money on that song.
Just a nickel or dime or two. Just a little. Few royalties here and there. Buy them a beer every once in a while.
Yeah. So, anyway, I think it's fun tonight. We got a full day. We got some basketball coming up. Pregame show starts in 5 minutes. I hope I am wrong about the Arkansas game, but I think LSU's you win at the line of scrimmage, and it's got me a little bit worried on that defensive line.
Hopefully they used up a good chunk of their gas in the tank in Tuscaloosa last week, but we'll find out tonight. Again, as Tommy mentioned, pregame coverage coming up for Arkansas basketball. We'll have Arkansas Gardner-Webb, and then your pregame coverage for this Arkansas game tonight. For Tommy Kraft, I'm Ty Richardson, live at Randall Ford, 5500 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. This has been Arkansas Game Day. Pull that Tiger tonight.
Football months of the year. Watch it in style with Dish from World of Wireless. 877-305-DISH.
Call Wow Now or go to our website, shopwownow.com.